Chapter 464. Not bad, Yun Air. You're really something. I didn't expect your temper to grow during these years when I wasn't around. Lin Li's voice echoed. Lin Yun's body trembled and he bitterly smiled. At the same time, he was extremely afraid, especially after hearing his father's words. His heart was beating like a drum. Ugh! Father, it's not me. Just as he was about to explain, a gust of strong wind arrived in a flash, carrying a huge pressure. Lin Yun couldn't care less. He immediately turned his hand and slapped forward with his early immortal venerable cultivation base. Bang! When the strong wind and the huge palm collided, both of them retreated a few steps. However, Lin Rei was still a peak immortal venerable. Although he had suppressed his cultivation base, his physique wasn't weak. Lin Li only retreated 2 or 3 steps before coming to a halt. As for Lin Yun, he didn't feel any pain. When his father's attack had collided with his own, in an instant, a terrifying surge of energy had sent him flying back more than 10 steps before he finally came to a halt. What? Lin Yun couldn't bear the sudden phenomenon, but it was also within his expectations. After all, he wasn't a match for Lin Rei. However, it was inevitable for him to be shocked. Moreover, he could feel that his father had used this move while suppressing his cultivation. Thus, Lin Yun couldn't help but admire his father for this. Hey, not bad. Sure enough, your wings have hardened. I didn't expect your cultivation base to reach such a level. Moreover, your Dao foundation is so solid that there's no sign of it floating. Not bad at all. After sensing his son's cultivation level, Lin Li gradually began to praise him. He didn't expect that in the time he was gone, his son would be able to reach such a level. This was an extremely rare level, but at the same time, he was proud of him. This is all because of my stepmother. If it wasn't for her careful guidance, I'm afraid I wouldn't have such strength today, let alone break through to the immortal venerable realm. Looking at the smile on his father's face, Lin Yun heaved a sigh of relief and quickly flattered Lu Ying, even though Lu Ying wasn't around at the moment. Oh, that's right. But just when Lin Yun thought that this matter was over, Lin Rei's cold voice suddenly echoed. Even so, you actually dared to curse your father to die a horrible death? Fuck, you've grown wings. After saying that, he twirled the ruler in his hand and his body silently disappeared. When he reappeared, he was behind Lin Yun. He released his cultivation and directly sealed Lin Yun's cultivation. Then, he whipped Lin Yun's buttocks again and again. Clap, clap, clap. This caused the young man and woman to be extremely shocked in their hearts. The big brother that they'd always regarded as their target had actually been effortlessly suppressed by their father that they'd never met before, and was even beaten up. They were extremely shocked by this. Father, I won't dare to do it again. Please spare me. At this moment, Lin Yun was extremely depressed in his heart. He clearly wanted to act like a Bobby, but he didn't expect that he would end up like this. Seeing his son on the verge of tears, Lin Rei's heart softened. He stopped whipping the ruler in his hand and casually undid the seal on Lin Yun's body. Humph, I'll let you off this time. Let's see if you still dare to kneel down. After saying that, Lin Rei didn't give him any more chances. Instead, he turned around and returned the young man to his original body. What are your names? Looking at his son and daughter, Lin Rei didn't know what else to say and casually asked. At this moment, the young woman had already thought of what she wanted to say. When she heard this father that she'd never met before ask, she couldn't wait and said, Father, my name is Lin Xian Er. That is my younger brother, Lin Shan. We are twins. Hearing his daughter's words, Lin Rei's heart ached and he didn't know what to say. Looking at the current state of his daughter and son, his heart was filled with regret. He regretted that he wasn't able to accompany them as they grew up happily. Instead, he caused them to lose the role of a father in their lives. I got it. You two. Come over quickly. Let me see this pair of precious children of mine. After saying that, Lin Rei, who was originally warning himself not to cry, suddenly burst into tears as he opened his arms and looked at Lin Xian Er and Lin Shan. The impatient Lin Xian Er and Lin Shan instantly rushed into Lin Rei's arms and began their conversation. Lin Yun didn't go up the mountain to disturb them. Instead, he disappeared from the Lin family and went to the spiritual farm at the back of the mountain. At this moment, In the spiritual farm, an extremely beautiful woman dressed in coarse hemp clothes was flipping through the fields. Her appearance was extremely pleasing to the eyes. "Little mom, don't bother about it. Father has come out of seclusion." Pada, after hearing Lin Yun's words, the gourd in Lu Ying's hand fell to the ground and he stood there dumbfounded. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. After hearing this news, Lu Ying didn't react in time. He just stared at Lin Yun with teary eyes. Swish. After being stunned for a few seconds, Lu Ying regained his senses. His body instantly turned into a ray of light and disappeared from the back of the mountain, flying towards the heavenly fortune village. Looking at the empty spiritual farm, Lin Yun laughed bitterly and also disappeared. He came here to find Lu Ying and bring him back. Now that it was done, and he hadn't seen his father for a long time, so, in the blink of an eye, the day turned into night. At this moment, the Lin family was brightly lit and laughter could be heard from time to time. The whole family gathered together and sat at the dining table. The fragrant dishes on the dining table were enough to make one's mouth water. Just looking at them made one's mouth water. All right, after coming out of seclusion, let's leave this place. After 100 years, we'll still be leaving this place. After coming out of seclusion, Lin Rei also knew that he had been in seclusion for over 500 years. Regarding this, Lin Rei was also shocked. What? Hubby, we're leaving? Lu Ying wasn't used to Lin Rei's sudden words. After living a comfortable life for 500 years, Lu Ying had already fallen in love with this place. Knowing that they were leaving now, he suddenly felt a little reluctant and bitter. Not only Lu Ying, but even Lin Xian and Lin Shan, who had lived here since they were born, already saw this place as their home. After hearing this, they were stunned. With regards to everyone's actions, Lin Rei knew what they were thinking. However, he had no choice. If he could truly become the strongest person in the realm of Tao, perhaps he could live an ordinary life. But now he still couldn't. It's time to leave. This time, after returning to the sect, I have something to announce. After that, looking at them, Lin Rei said with a heavy expression, but he paused at the end. After that, we should leave this place. The illusionary spirits here are no longer suitable for people like us to cultivate. The moment he said this, everyone was stunned. However, Lu Ying wasn't. When she first met Lin Rei, she knew that her husband had already reached the same realm as her. Thus, she wasn't surprised by this sentence. However, Lin Yun and the rest weren't surprised either, especially Lin Xian and Lin Shan who had just reunited. They knew what this sentence meant. No one said anything. Everyone tacitly lowered their heads and started eating. However, throughout the entire meal, only Lin Rei was eating very happily. The others were stuffing their chopsticks into their mouths. This meal was very difficult, as though everyone didn't want it to end. However, Lin Rei wasn't the same. He finished his meal very quickly. Looking at everyone's expressions, Lin Rei couldn't help but smile bitterly. All right, even if I leave, we will still be able to meet again in the future. Besides, Yun you are already an early immortal venerable. I believe it won't be long before you break through to the peak of late immortal venerable. At that time, we will naturally be able to reunite in the divine world. After saying that, Lin Rei quickly said to Lin Xian and Lin Shan, as for the rest of you, as long as you work hard, I believe that you will be able to ascend to the divine world in less than 1,000 years. At that time, we will be able to live together. Moreover, no one in the immortal world will dare to touch the position of the Xuanzong sect. Here, you will be able to live a happy life and won't be in danger. Hearing this, everyone fell silent. Lu Ying, who was at the side, agreed with Lin Rei's words and said, "That's right. Your father is right. You must cultivate well here. We will be waiting for you in the divine world." After saying that without waiting for their reply, he stood up and pulled Lin Rei into the room. In the room, the moment Lu Ying entered the room, he threw himself into Lin Rei's arms and cried. Lin Rei had already prepared himself for this scene. "Wu, you bastard, do you know how I've spent the past 500 years? Look at you, we just got married and you have to go into seclusion. Do you know how much I miss you?" Lu Ying cried and complained at the same time, pounding Lin Rei's chest non-stop. This scene caused Lin Rei's heart to ache and he almost burst into tears. All right. Don't cry, don't cry. Lin Rei originally wanted to comfort Lu Ying, but he didn't expect that his words would cause Lu Ying to cry even harder, to the point that Lin Rei felt a headache coming on. Bastard. Bastard. Woo. He spent the entire night being called a bastard. He cried non-stop, complained non-stop, and complained non-stop. He spent the entire night talking about his 500 years of sufferings, tormenting Linli to the point where he couldn't even begin to describe it. He wanted to resist, but he felt that he owed Lu Ying and was afraid of hurting her. Thus, he could only swallow his anger and endure the humiliation, enduring Lu Ying's complaints and nagging. Chapter 465. Perhaps she was tired from crying, or perhaps there were other reasons, but it wasn't until the morning sun shone on the two of them that Lu Ying finally relaxed. Her body relaxed and she fell asleep in Lin Rei's arms. Looking at his wife in his arms, Lin Rei's heart was filled with guilt. At this moment, he swore that he would never be like before, only feeling regret and realizing the importance of the other party after losing her. Go to sleep. When you're done sleeping, we'll be back at the sect. Looking at his wife in his arms, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with tenderness. In an instant, a bit of immortal spiritual energy entered Lu Ying's body. Then, Lu Ying fell into a deep sleep. It's been hard on you. It won't happen again. Lin Rei couldn't help but sigh. He gently placed his wife in his arms on the bed, then covered her with a blanket and walked out. When he arrived at the main hall, Lin Rei released his divine sense to investigate. In the end, he realized that in the entire Lin family, there was only him and his wife. Everyone else had disappeared. Brat, at least you still remember what I said. Saying that, Lin Rei's face lit up. Then, he remembered where his 3 children were. He walked out of the house and walked towards the spirit field in the back mountain without using any of his cultivation. The scenery along the way was pleasant. Lin Rei, who had lived in darkness for 500 years, was deeply moved when he saw this scene. As expected, the higher my cultivation, the more I see things in the entire immortal realm. In the past, I could only see the surrounding spiritual energy, but now I can see traces of the great Tao. Looking at the energy in the natural environment, Lin Rei couldn't help but be moved by all the changes. Along the way, Lin Rei really enjoyed this kind of life. He was even a little intoxicated by it. However, he knew that this kind of life would end very soon. Alright, when you reach the peak of the Tao, you can do whatever you want. No one will care about you. When that time comes, we'll live this kind of rural life together. Suddenly, the little dragon's voice was heard. Then, the figure of a young man appeared beside Lin Rei. However, the two of them had completely different auras. Lin Rei belonged to the noble and domineering kind, giving people a feeling of being high and mighty like a god. As for Xiaolong, his body was hazy and indistinct, giving off an unfathomable aura. However, by Linli's side, he seemed very harmonious, giving off a warm and gentle aura. Good. When the time comes, I'll help you create a physical body and find a wife for you to give birth to a bunch of children. Then, you'll marry a few of my family members. After that, you'll have to guide them more in the future. As soon as he said this, the two of them looked at each other and laughed at the same time. Their laughter was very carefree and carefree. Alright, but it's useless to think about it now. When we get to the spiritual field, pick all the spiritual herbs on it. If you want that piece of spiritual field, you can transplant it into the system and put it in the storage first. Who knows, there might be a chance to activate the spiritual field function in the future. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei's smile grew even wider. He nodded his head in understanding and hastened his steps towards the spiritual field. Big brother Yun, do you think father is really going to leave this place? At this moment, in the spiritual field, Lin Xian looked at Lin Yun and asked, her voice filled with reluctance. That's right, Big brother Yun. You're the eldest brother. You should know father's character. Tell me, will father really leave? Lin Yun, who was currently picking spiritual herbs, was stunned when he heard his younger brother and sister's question. However, he recovered quickly and said to his younger brother and sister with a serious expression, in the future, just call me second brother. You guys might not know, but the one father relies on the most is big brother Jean N. Speaking of this, Lin Yun's expression was filled with sorrow. He liked Jean N very much and Jean N also loved and cared for him. Therefore he respected Jean N very much. Big brother? Then where is he? Why have we never seen him and never heard you guys mention him? Hearing their brother's words, Lin Xian, and Lin Shan looked at Lin Yun with puzzlement. Big brother. Big brother is dead. He died in that battle. Auntie is also dead. As he spoke, Lin Yun couldn't help but burst into tears. The sorrow in his eyes was exposed without any concealment. Big brother and auntie are all heroes. Their contributions to the sect are extremely great. Therefore, in the future, you guys must respect them, do you understand? As he spoke, Lin Yun closed his mouth and didn't say anything else. Instead, he focused on his work seriously. The three people working in the spiritual field didn't know that when they were talking about Jin En and Jin Ling, Lin Rei had already silently arrived at the spiritual field. After hearing their conversation, Lin Rei valued his son even more. At the same time, Lin Rei's heart ached for Jin En and Jin Ling. The sorrow in his heart caused him to freeze on the spot, unable to move. Sigh. It seems like Jin En and Jin Ling are indeed a thorn in your heart. However, you can rest assured that as long as you ascend to the divine realm and cultivate to the level where you can enter the ghost realm, you will be able to find your wife and children's souls. When the time comes, you can use your cultivation to revive them. I won't lie to you about this. All right, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's hurry up and get to work. It's time to hand over some things and leave. As for the little dragon's words, Lin Rei only treated it as a casual remark. As for the matter of reviving his wife and children, Lin Rei no longer held any hope. However, he still wanted to give the little dragon's suggestion a try. After saying that, Lin Li sorted out his emotions and walked into the spiritual field, arriving in front of Lin Yun and the other two. Similarly, the moment Lin Rei entered the spiritual field, the three of them sensed someone approaching. When they saw that it was their father, the three of them instantly stood together, looking extremely nervous. Ha, all right, don't be nervous. Looking at the expressions of his three sons, Lin Rei really wanted to laugh. I'm here to tell you to hurry up and pack up the things in the house. Take whatever you want with you and leave whatever you don't want with you. We'll be leaving in a while. So fast. Hearing their father's words, the three of them exclaimed. Yesterday, they were still discussing this matter. They didn't expect that they would have to leave today. This made them leave the place where they had lived for 500 years. They were really reluctant to part with it. Father, can we live like this for a while longer? So that we can. All right, Xian, don't add to the trouble. Since father has decided, then as children, we will obey. At this moment, Lin Yun, who was beside him, heard his half-sister's words. He didn't wait for her to finish her sentence and quickly stopped her. Lin Xian, who still wanted to say something, saw her brother's expression and stopped. Then, she obediently shut her mouth and no longer spoke. Looking at the appearance of the three of them, Lin Rei didn't say anything and allowed them to leave the spiritual field. Then father, the three of us will go back and pack our things first. Seeing that his father had already made up his mind, Lin Yun brought Lin Xian, and Little Dragon away from the back mountain. Lin Rei didn't bother about the departure of the three of them. With a bang, his peak immortal venerable cultivation base burst forth and a terrifying force was released. Pooh! At this moment, a strange phenomenon appeared. All the spiritual fruits and herbs in the spiritual field exploded the instant Lin Rei released his cultivation base. The spiritual energy from the spiritual fruits dissipated in the entire immortal world, becoming a part of the immortal world. The appearance of the strange phenomenon frightened Lin Rei so much that he quickly retracted his cultivation base. Looking at the spiritual fruits and herbs that had already disappeared, Lin Rei's heart ached. When the little dragon saw this scene, a happy smile immediately appeared on his face. As he laughed, he said, Ha, you deserve it for acting tough. Looking at the little dragon's gloating face, Lin Rei was speechless. With regards to the little dragon's actions, Lin Rei was already used to it. All right, stop talking nonsense. Quickly keep these spiritual herbs. I don't want to waste them. You know that even if I don't need them, they are still a very powerful resource for the sect. The little dragon chose to acquiesce to Lin Rei's words. Without waiting for Lin Rei's reply, the little dragon raised one of his hands and pointed it at Pang Long. A suction force from the spiritual field was released from the little dragon's hand. What the F***ck? As soon as this energy appeared, Lin Rei was stunned. Facing this energy, Lin Rei felt his heart palpitating. Humph, little dragon, just you wait. How can you not tell me that you have such a powerful energy? Let's see how you explain it later. Looking at the little dragon who was collecting the spiritual herbs for him, Lin Rei didn't say anything. Instead, he watched this scene quietly. Swish, swish, swish. In an instant, the suction force was generated. Instantly, the spiritual herbs within a radius of dozens of acres seemed to have come alive and gathered toward the little dragon's hand involuntarily. Besides, what surprised Lin Rei was that the instant they entered the little dragon's hand, they were differentiated according to their different medicinal properties. Damn, this technique! This technique is simply amazing. No, I must get my hands on it. Lin Rei sensed that this technique was a special technique. Besides, this technique could only be used when he was refining pills and could also save a lot of trouble. Time passed little by little. The dozens of acres of spiritual herbs began to slowly disappear. Finally, after half an hour, there was not a single spiritual herb left in the entire spiritual field. All of them were collected by the little dragon into the system. Oh my, it's finally done. If it's still not done, I really won't be able to take it. After the matter was settled, the cultivation instantly disappeared. Suddenly, the little dragon bent over and complained to Lin Rei in a very tired manner. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei wanted to go forward and comfort it, but before he could reach it, he was interrupted by the little dragon's words. That. I can't take it anymore. Just now I used too much of my soul force. I have to go back and rest. I'll leave this place to you. I won't come out in a short period of time. As for the matter of going back to the Sky Xian realm, I've already discussed it with the system. He said that this time, it'll be a free gift to you. The decryption of the teleportation array has already been placed in the system. This time there are 2 chances. You only need to go back and forth once. In an instant, the little dragon disappeared on the spot, causing Lin Rei to be completely confused. He still hadn't figured out the whole story, and he didn't see the little dragon again. Damn! Looking at the place where the little dragon disappeared, Lin Rei couldn't help but stop thinking about it. Sky-raising palm, break. A gust of wind howled, and an unbelievably huge palm appeared in the blink of an eye. In an instant, it sank into the ground. Then, all the spiritual fields were dragged up by this huge palm. Looking at the dozens of mu of spiritual fields in front of him, Lin Rei couldn't help but laugh heartily. Then with a thought, he instantly stored the dozens of mu of spiritual fields into the system. Phew, the matter was done. Even a venerable immortal would have a headache dealing with this kind of matter. But fortunately, the matter was perfectly resolved. After finishing, Lin Rei looked at the familiar scenery that made him somewhat reluctant to part with it. After sighing with emotion for a while, he teleported and disappeared on the spot. As for the matter at the back of the mountain, the surrounding villages all felt it. Moving dozens of mu of land was something that even a venerable immortal like Lin Rei couldn't do quietly. Therefore, at this moment, the people of the surrounding villages all rushed to the spiritual fields. Of course, the Heavenly Blessing Village was also included. Along the way, looking at the villagers rushing to the spiritual fields, Lin Rei's eyes produced a sense of guilt. However, it disappeared in an instant. At this moment, in the Lin family, after hearing Lin Rei's instructions, Lin Yun returned home to pack up. Basically, everything in the house was packed up by Lin Rei, including the bowls that they had been eating from. Apart from the house, there was nothing left. Jia! The sound that no one wanted to hear was heard. Everyone's gaze shifted to the door, only to see Lin Rei's figure appear. Very good. Lin Rei entered the room. His 3 sons were very nimble. Then, he smiled and walked into the room. When he came out again, Lu Ying was in Lin Rei's arms. However, Lu Ying was still in a deep sleep and seemed to be sleeping very peacefully. Seeing this scene, Lin Yun and the other 2 tactfully didn't disturb them. Instead, they waited for Lin Rei's orders. Let's go. There's no need to return to this place in the future. After saying this, Lin Rei looked at the house with reluctance before walking out of the door. He flew through the air and disappeared from the Heavenly Blessing Village, the place where he had been in seclusion for hundreds of years. As for Lin Xian and Lin Shan, they also had deep feelings for this place. After all, this was the place where they were born. However, compared to their father, this place wasn't worth a single cent. Seeing their father leave, Lin Yun and the other two swept a glance at the home where they had been born for 100 years before following Lin Rei without turning back. The group flew towards the sky of the eastern central region. They didn't stop at all as they transformed into streaks of light and disappeared into the horizon. Seeing the two newcomers, Lin Rei revealed a gratified expression. Next, he pulled out a bottle of medicinal pills capable of increasing cultivation from his storage ring and tossed it towards the two gatekeeping disciples. These 2 bottles of medicinal pills are used to increase your cultivation. Right now, the 2 of you should be at the high immortal realm, right? If you have nothing to do, cultivate more and strive to break through to the immortal emperor realm as soon as possible, becoming the cornerstones of the sect. With regards to medicinal pills, the 2 of them were extremely fond of them. Let alone these medicinal pills that could increase their cultivation, they were extremely beneficial to their cultivation. After which, the 2 of them received the medicinal pills and clutched them tightly in their palms. They hurriedly thanked Lin Rei. Many thanks for Sect Master's generosity. We will definitely cultivate diligently and not let down Sect Master's nurturing. After speaking, the 2 of them retreated, opening up a path for Lin Rei and the others. And with regards to the scene earlier, Lin Xian and Lin Shan, who had always lived in the mountain village, were incomparably stunned. This was especially so when they saw the reverence in the eyes of these experts when they saw their father. At this moment, their respect for their father grew even more. Let's go. After speaking to everyone, Lin Rei didn't take the medicinal pills. Instead, he directly activated his cultivation and enveloped the 3 of them with immortal qi. In an instant, they disappeared from the entrance. It seems like Sect Master's cultivation has reached its peak after leaving this time. We are truly unable to catch up to him. Forget about it. We are already extremely fortunate to be able to become disciples of the Xuanzong sect. So don't bite off more than you can chew. What we should do is to do our job well and dedicate our lives to the sect. This is what we should do. After Lin Rei left, the 2 guards couldn't help but sigh with emotion when they sensed Lin Rei's cultivation. And the news of Lin Rei's return spread like wildfire in the entire Xuanzong sect. Regardless of whether they were patrolling or simply cultivating in the Heaven's Vault mountain range, the moment they received news of Lin Rei's return, they immediately stopped all their activities and flew towards the Tianqian Hall. Not only the disciples, even Bing, Lin Wanyu, Jian Feng, and the other higher-ups rushed to the Tianqian Hall as soon as they received news of Lin Rei's return. Among them, the happiest one was Dong Xiao, the male emperor. At this moment, he was a real male emperor, genuine and genuine. I finally don't have to manage the sect anymore. I can finally be free. At this moment, if Lin Rei knew of the thoughts of the male emperor, he would definitely laugh his head off. However, Lin Rei didn't know that. The Xuanzong sect, which had always been quiet, was completely lively at this moment. Usually, not to mention recognition, it was hard to even see a bird in the sect. But today, everyone had appeared, and they were all flying towards the best palace in the sky. Lin Rei had long since noticed this scene. He also knew that the news of his return had already spread in the Xuanzong sect. Moreover, Lin Rei also knew that the Xuanzong sect's Tianqian Hall was already packed with people. You don't need to inform them in a while. They are already here. Stand beside me in a while. I have something to announce. The sudden words made him a little puzzled, but he still nodded in agreement. They were very fast. Before long, Lin Rei led them to the Tianqian Hall. At this moment, the scene in the Tianqian Hall was somewhat different from what Lin Rei had perceived. Because the Tianqian Hall was very lively at this moment. We, the disciples of the Xuanzong sect, pay our respects to the sect master. I, Jian Feng, the head of the law enforcement department, pay my respects to the sect master. The moment they landed in the Tianqian Hall, a group of people flocked to his side and began to report the names of their departments. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei felt his hair stand on end. Just the registration alone took half a day. Lin Li hurriedly stopped the people behind and said to them, Good. You all have done very well. I am very satisfied with your training during this period of time. In an instant, the entire Tianqian Hall quieted down. It was so quiet that it felt strange. This sovereign came back today to see you all. Secondly, I have something important to tell everyone. After saying this, Lin Rei's gaze swept over the tens of thousands of disciples, the heads of his departments, and the Empress, who had been acting as the sect master all this time. Everyone stared at Lin Rei, not daring to blink for a moment. They also didn't dare to show any signs of displeasure. All of them listened attentively to Lin Rei's speech. This sovereign has been in seclusion for 500 years. Finally, the heavens don't disappoint those who are willing. After 500 years of seclusion, this sovereign has finally broken through to the peak of the immortal venerable realm. Ascension is imminent. So before I leave, I want to appoint the next sect master. From now on, all of you must obey the orders of the next sect master. What? The sect master is abdicating. Ascension? Divine world? How can this be? In an instant, all the problems were solved the moment Lin Rei finished his speech. The people below no longer chose to remain silent. Everyone was stunned and doubtful. Humph. I haven't seen you all for 500 years. It seems like you all have forgotten the rules. I haven't finished my speech and you all have already started to discuss among yourselves. Do you all really think you're so capable? Looking at their current appearance, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with disappointment. Although each of them could become an expert of a region if their cultivation base was improved, if they didn't have discipline, they would be nothing more than a disgusting expert. Sooner or later, they would be killed by someone. A cold snort instantly entered the ears of all the cultivators. In an instant, the noisy crowd quieted down. Their foreheads were filled with cold sweat as if they were terrified. We know our mistake. Please forgive us, Sect Master. Everyone lowered their heads and bowed to Linley in apology. Seeing them like this, Linley didn't say anything else. Instead, he chose to leave. And so, since he was going to leave, then he would leave the matters of this place to the people who should be managing it. All of you are the elders who have followed me to conquer this sect. Therefore, I believe that all of you will be able to assist the new sect master well. He looked at the crowd and changed his tone. He pulled Lin Yun to the front and pointed at him, saying to the tens of thousands of people of the Xuanzong sect, "He is my son. Although he hasn't been in the sect for a long time, he is absolutely qualified to lead the sect that I founded. Moreover, he has the ability to do so." Having said that, Lin Rei glanced at Lin Yun, who was standing in front of him. Lin Yun didn't disappoint him. He understood what was going on with just one glance. Boom! A huge pressure instantly rushed towards the tens of thousands of disciples of the Xuanzong sect. Pooh! The pressure of an early immortal venerable wasn't something that immortal monarchs and immortal sovereigns could withstand. Although immortal sovereigns were still fine, immortal monarchs were finished. The moment they felt the terrifying pressure, a mouthful of blood spurted out from their mouths. Their faces instantly turned pale. This incident happened so suddenly that no one was aware of it. They weren't mentally prepared, let alone physically prepared. Therefore, injuries were inevitable. Chapter 467. All right, you can keep it now. Lin Rei hastily stopped them after seeing that the deterrence was effective, but he couldn't overdo it. Of course, Lin Yun understood his father's intention. Therefore, the moment he received Lin Rei's order, he withdrew his early immortal venerable cultivation base back into his body. Who? In an instant, the moment the pressure disappeared, everyone's forehead was covered in cold sweat. At the same time, the disdain in their eyes had been replaced by respect. Remember, Lin Yun will be the sect master of the Xuanzong sect in the future. His orders will be the best orders. All of you just need to do your best to assist Yun. If any of you can break through the immortal venerable realm, or even ascend to the divine realm, that will naturally be the best. Having said that, Lin Rei's eyes glinted with expectation. How pitiful! He was so optimistic about their chances of ascending to the divine realm. Of course, the most important problem was their own efforts. Without their efforts, even if Lin Rei was looking forward to it, it would still be useless in the end. Plop, plop. Suddenly, tens of thousands of disciples knelt on the ground and looked at Lin Rei with excitement. They said in a loud and respectful voice, "Yes, we will definitely ascend to the divine realm." Their voices resounded through the clouds. Everyone was determined to ascend to the divine realm. Looking at their expressions, Lin Rei felt gratified from the bottom of his heart. "I believe in all of you because all of you are brought up by me, Lin Rei. You are the strongest. You are the future rulers of this world. His words hit the nail on everyone's head. Instantly, all of them raised their left hand and roared passionately. We will follow the Sect Master to conquer the world and let the name of the Xuanzong Sect appear in all the worlds. Ha ha ha. Everyone laughed. Their laughter was carefree and unrestrained. They laughed as if they were the only ones in the world. All right, you guys can handle the inheritance ceremony yourselves. I still have things to do, so I won't be here. After saying this, Lin Rei wasn't in a hurry. Instead, he yelled into the air, Blood 136. You'll follow me into the divine realm and roam the divine realm proudly. Are you willing? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. As soon as he finished speaking, the sound of something piercing through the air could be heard. Everyone turned to look at the source of the sound. 36 moonlights streaked across the sky and appeared in front of Lin Rei. They were unwilling to come out and knelt in front of Lin Rei. The 36 of us pledged our lives to follow Sect Master to the divine world. His tone was extremely firm, to the point that everyone felt that if Lin Rei asked them to commit suicide right now, they would not hesitate at all. Ha ha ha, good good good. After this matter is over, follow me and leave this place. Over there, we can quickly break through the immortal venerable realm and reach the immortal realm. After hearing their answer, Lin Rei's face revealed a smile. At the same time, the 5 of them began to think about the immortal world. All right, stand to the side. Lin Rei could only do this for them. Then, he turned his gaze to the male emperor and Lin Tian. Male Empress, I will fulfill my promise to you. When we leave this time, you will come with me to Tianxian continent and bring your parents here. I believe that if they cultivate here, their lifespans will be even longer. Many thanks, Brother Lei. The male emperor didn't expect Lin Rei to treat this matter so seriously. Because of this, the male emperor became even more loyal to Lin Rei. Hee, it's nothing. This is what I promised you back then. If I can't even do this, how can I be worthy of being your brother Lei? Besides, you're the elder of the Xuanzong Sect. Just based on this, I have to bring my parents here. After saying that, Lin Rei turned his gaze to Lin Tian, the brother he had met in the Xingwu realm. Lin Rei didn't know what to say to Lin Tian. When he thought of what Lin Tian had done to him back then, Lin Rei couldn't help but want to protect him. Little Tian, you're an expert now. Now you have 2 choices. Looking at Lin Rei didn't force him. Instead, he let him choose his own path. First, you leave this place with me and go to the realm of the gods. Second, you stay here and become the 2nd elder of the Xuanzong Sect. You'll be in charge of a powerful force. As soon as he said that, Lin Tian's expression changed. At this moment, Lin Wanyu hurriedly signaled to Lin Tian with her eyes. It was as if she was saying, Uncle Tian, hurry up and promise Master to go to the realm of the gods with us. Lin Li knew exactly what Lin Wanyu was doing behind him. He also knew that Lin Tian was on extremely good terms with her, to the point where he was like a father to his daughter. Hee, young master, I've already said this before. Wherever you go, I'll be there. Furthermore, I haven't become as strong as young master, so how can I leave young master and live a comfortable life alone? In fact, Lin Rei already knew the answer, but he felt more at ease when he said it. Good. This time, all of you will leave with me. Including Bing, Ming, Tian Yun. Wait, all of you will come with me. As for the vacant department head position, Yun I'll leave it to you. But you must be fair and just. It doesn't matter if you have a powerful backer or not. In this place, all capable people must take up the responsibility. Yes, young master. Yes, father. Lin Yun was a little reluctant to see them leave, but he had no other choice. He knew that they were his father's brothers and disciples, and any one of them was older than him. All right. I'll leave Xian and Shan in your care from now on. Kuei Gang will be yours. Chapter 468. Thank you, father. How could Lin Yun not want such a treasure? Moreover, he knew that there were countless treasures in his father's phone. The moment he received the cloud pagoda, he sat down cross-legged and began to refine it. Seeing his son's actions, Lin Rei smiled and ignored him. All of you, protect Yun here. Before he wakes up, remember not to let anyone disturb him. When he wakes up, Give this jade slip to him. Tell him that this is the last thing I want to give him. I hope he can break through to the divine realm as soon as possible. He waved his hand towards the sky, and immediately, a black-robed Black Ops member appeared in front of Linley. Yes, this subordinate obeys. The Dark Department member carefully took the jade slip from Lin Rei's hand and went to Lin Yun's side. He released his cultivation and began to protect Lin Yun. Seeing his school flourish, seeing his son accomplish such feats, seeing the school he had single-handedly created become one of the major powers of the immortal realm, Linley felt very satisfied. Sigh, let's go. Relax yourselves. I'll send you to a place in a while. After that, try not to enter the area with the gray spiritual energy. Try your best to stay around it. That spiritual energy is not something you can absorb. Everything had been settled. Although Lin Rei was still reluctant to leave, there was no one here who could oppose him. Therefore, it was time to leave. Yes, we understand. Hearing Linley's words, everyone hurriedly nodded in agreement, and then relaxed their grip. In that instant, everyone felt their vision blur, and when they opened their eyes again, everything in front of them had changed. The grayish spiritual energy was in the air in front of them, and it was everywhere around them. The moment they saw the grayish spiritual energy, everyone felt the space suddenly become heavy, and there was a faint terrifying pressure pressing down on them from time to time. What's going on? The spiritual energy here is so strong. It can release spiritual energy on its own. This is the first time I've seen spiritual energy. At this moment, everyone was shocked. They were shocked by the high-level spiritual energy and the spiritual energy that could release spiritual energy. All right, all of you remember what I said. Don't go near the spiritual chi, or else you won't even know how you died. As the owner of the system, how could Lin Rei not know about the situation in the system? Although he had reminded them before, Lin Rei reminded them again because there was more than just chaotic energy here. Among them, there were two unfathomable experts who struck fear into his heart. Yes, we will obey your orders. Lin Rei's voice suddenly sounded, causing everyone's bodies to quickly recover. They immediately sat down on the ground and began to cultivate. Hee. Looking at Lin Rei, who had already entered seclusion, Lin Rei withdrew his consciousness from the system. At this moment, in the entire Tianqin Palace, apart from the person sitting on the ground refining the Cloud Pagoda and the person guarding him, there was only him and his younger brother, Lin Tian. Let's go. We'll settle the matter in the lower realm and then we can truly leave. There's nothing left for us to do in the mortal world. The great Tao is heartless, but cultivators can't be heartless. After speaking to the two, Lin Rei took out the teleportation array from the system and threw it on the ground. Boom! Rumble! Rumble! A black vortex appeared on the ground. The moment the vortex appeared, the entire Tianqin Palace began to tremble violently. Lin Rei vaguely felt that the Tianqin Palace couldn't withstand the energy of the vortex and was about to collapse. This made him very surprised. No, we can't stay here for long. The two of you follow behind me. Don't panic. Remember to use your cultivation along the way. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. After instructing the two of them, Linley took a single step forward, leaping into the black vortex and disappearing. Whoosh! Whoosh! The moment Lin Rei disappeared, two figures entered the black vortex. When the person guarding Lin Yun saw this, his eyes were filled with shock. However, he didn't move in the slightest and continued to guard Lin Yun. As for the black vortex, in the instant that Linley's group of three entered, the black vortex automatically closed. At the same time, the trembling of the heavenly palace disappeared, but at the place where the vortex had appeared, a crack appeared. If Linley was present, he would definitely be stupefied. It must be understood that this was a deity-level artifact, but it had been so easily destroyed by a single whirlpool. If Lin Rei saw this, he would be very distressed. Since then, the entire immortal realm returned to peace. No one dared to mention Lin Rei's name. They all knew that Lin Rei was the previous sect master of the Xuanzong sect and were very curious about the new sect master. In the eastern part of the profound sky continent, the central area of the forest mountain range was originally a place where demonic beasts roared continuously. However, at this moment, a strange scene appeared. All the demonic beasts submitted and crawled on the ground. They were at a loss and looked up at the sky with fear. It was as if there was something up there that made them feel like death. Boom! Suddenly, a black whirlpool appeared in the sky without a sound. The pressure then spread out in all directions with this whirlpool as the center. Whoosh! Whoosh! The vortex opened and two figures rushed out in a sorry state. The beautiful woman fell to the ground without any warning and had an intimate contact with the ground. Ouch, what's going on? A young man hurriedly got up from the ground and looked angry. There was something similar to demonic beast feces on his face. The strange smell was so strong that the young man couldn't stand it. When the other young man saw this scene, he immediately got up from the ground. He pinched his nose and frowned. He took 2 steps to the side, as if he wanted to distance himself from the other young man. Damn, this is... The young man also felt something strange. He touched his face and sniffed. Instantly, his eyes rolled back and he lay on the ground. His legs began to twitch. Ha ha ha. When the other young man saw this scene, he seemed to be very happy. He laughed heartily and didn't have the slightest intention to hide it. Whoosh! All of a sudden, another figure rushed out of the vortex. But this time, the person didn't land on the ground. Instead, he made a 360-degree rotation in the air and stepped into the void as if he was walking on flat ground. At the same time, the black vortex in the sky closed up the moment the man appeared and disappeared without a trace. Who? The man stepped into the void and looked at the familiar surroundings. Then, he took in a deep breath and calmed himself down. Haha, Sentian, Lin Rei, am finally back. I didn't expect us to be so fated. Back then, I was chased to death by those little bastards. If it wasn't for Hong. All of a sudden, a gorgeous figure that he yearned for appeared in his mind. Then, the man stopped his imagination and shifted his gaze to the man lying on the ground with his eyes rolled back. Lin Rei looked at him curiously and wanted to get closer. But as soon as he got closer, a pungent stench filled his nose. In an instant, Lin Rei came to a halt and retreated quickly with a look of disdain. Ha ha ha, even young master despises you. What's this? You're so lucky. Ha ha ha. At this moment, the young men who followed Lin Rei back saw Lin Rei's appearance and started mocking the man lying on the ground. You. Seeing that everyone was behaving in such a manner, the male emperor stood up from the ground and looked at Lin Tian with a deflated expression. He was about to say a single word but was unable to say anything else. Fine, just you wait. See how I'll deal with you later. Having said that, the man flipped his hand and a dazzling magical equipment appeared in his hand. Then, he formed a seal and the equipment in his hand turned into a ray of golden light that disappeared from his hand. At the same time, the originally filthy male emperor instantly became bright and beautiful. The clothes that were previously in his hands still appeared on the male emperor's body. The embarrassing look from before disappeared in an instant. He became so noble that no one could catch up to him. Haha, alright, stop fooling around. Don't forget why we came back here. Don't waste time because of such a small matter. Looking at the two of them laughing mischievously, Lin Rei didn't say anything else and walked out of the forest alone. Although he hadn't returned for 100 years, according to his memory, a lot of changes had taken place here. Basically, the previous path had become either a cliff or a river. Along the way, all the beasts that saw Lin Rei prostrated themselves on the ground and didn't dare to act rashly. Even though their eyes were filled with resentment and they wanted to tear Lin Rei and the others apart, they didn't dare to do so. During this period of time, Lin Li's spiritual sense enveloped the entire forest mountain range. He discovered that there were several severely injured body integration stage demon beasts in the mountain range, and their vitality was slowly fading away. There was no hope for them to recover at all. The death aura emitted from their bodies made Lin Rei even more puzzled. One had to know that the lifespan of a monster was extremely long. Moreover, Lin Rei was a powerful being in the combination stage, so his lifespan was even longer. What's going on? Did something happen here? Why are combination stage powerhouses so severely injured? In this place where only those in the Mahayana realm can break through, it's really not easy for them to do this. Lin Rei didn't see how pitiful they were and went up to save them. This was the law of the world. The strong preyed on the weak and only the fittest survived. Chapter 469. Be careful later. Something terrible might have happened in Forest Sky. Many of the overlords here have been killed and some of the merged demonic beasts are seriously injured. Regarding such a matter, Lin Li had no choice but to warn them. Although their cultivation bases were still below the immortal plane and there were no forces that could threaten them, they had to be careful. This was something that Linley had always believed in. Furthermore, no matter where Linley was, there would always be a certain factor that would cause him to be unable to resolve something. Even if it was the following, he would still face it with caution. At the same time, he would never underestimate anyone, because once he did, he would not be far from death. Okay, got it. Lin Tian and the male emperor, who were brought out by Lin Rei, were naturally aware of the danger. Therefore, the moment they heard Lin Rei's words, their playful mood instantly disappeared and they began to be vigilant of their surroundings. Looking at Lin Tian and the male emperor, Lin Rei couldn't help but show a gratified expression. He chuckled and began to investigate seriously. Along the way, they saw many corpses. What made Lin Rei curious was that the way they died was very strange. Everyone knew that the most precious parts of demonic beasts were their fur, monster core, and some parts that could be used to refine spiritual weapons and elixirs. However, these dead demonic beasts didn't lose any of these things. Instead, they lost their souls. What's going on? Looking at such a strange scene, Lin Rei couldn't help but be curious. However, at this moment, the little dragon, who had disappeared before, reappeared. Hee, be careful. Although you're an immortal venerable, you still have to be careful. This cultivation method was very famous in the untainted land. It's also very evil. Cultivation method? At this moment, Lin Rei was no longer in the mood to care about the little dragon hiding his cultivation. Hearing his words, Lin Rei hurriedly asked anxiously, "What cultivation method? I don't know about such a cultivation method." Are you kidding me? If you knew about it, why would you still need me? Hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon instantly burst out laughing. However, you have to say that this cultivation method is somewhat similar to the devouring heaven art that you practice. The only thing that this cultivation method can't compare to the devouring heaven art is that it can only devour things like souls. For example, demonic beasts, humans, and all kinds of living creatures with souls. Hearing this, Lin Rei was stunned. At the same time, he felt a chill in his heart. Towards this cultivation method, Lin Rei hated it from the inside out. What's the name? It was a very simple sentence, but in Xiaolong's ears, it was indeed full of coldness. He didn't tease her anymore and immediately blurted out the name of the cultivation technique. Soul art, it should be at the honorable level. However, looking at the way these demonic beasts died and the souls left in their bodies, the person who obtained the soul art probably didn't have the complete version of the soul art and only a fragment of the soul art. Otherwise, not to mention the souls, even the entire corpse of the demonic beasts wouldn't be seen. Hee. Venerable. Hearing the little dragon mention the level of the cultivation method, Lin Rei's eyes moved. He was immediately suppressed. The killing intent in his eyes instantly exploded. A terrifying pressure shot out from his body and instantly enveloped the entire forest mountain range. Oh, what? You thought of it? The little dragon was very clear about Lin Rei's thoughts. In this regard, Lin Rei could only express his helplessness. You're right. Although I don't think I'm a good person, keeping this kind of cultivation method will only bring disaster sooner or later. I might as well get it and seal it up so that it will never see the light of day again. Hee. Just as Lin Rei finished speaking, the little dragon chuckled. Instantly, Lin Rei's face flushed red and he evaded his gaze in embarrassment. All right, you don't have to pretend in front of me. Once you stick out your butt, I know what kind of *T you took. So, don't try to hide it from me a million times because my heart is in sync with yours. At this point, Lin Rei didn't continue speaking. Instead, he turned to Lin Tian and the male emperor and said, "Male brother, go home first. I'll give you a month's time. After a month, I'll wait for you here. At the same time, I have some matters to settle." When Lin Rei's words reached their ears, the male emperor was stunned for a moment before nodding his head in agreement. As for Lin Tian, he didn't say anything but his eyes were especially clear. All right, then Brother Lei, I'll take my leave first. The male emperor, who was already impatient, couldn't wait any longer after hearing Lin Rei's words. He immediately disappeared in a flash in front of Lin Rei and the little dragon. Hee, Aya, I knew you couldn't wait any longer. Why are you still following me here? Lin Rei couldn't help but laugh when he saw the male emperor's impatient look. At the side, Lin Tian couldn't help but ask, "Young master, are we going to the Lin family now?" Lin Rei was stunned by this question. However, there wasn't a trace of surprise in Lin Rei's eyes. Instead, they were filled with melancholy. Sigh. "Yes, although I've cut off contact with them, they're still my family. How can I really forget them?" With that, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. Immortal spiritual energy instantly enveloped Lin Tian and they disappeared in a flash. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that the moment they left, a figure with a sinister aura suddenly jumped down from a nearby tree. His eyes were filled with passion as he looked in the direction where Lin Rei disappeared. A hair-raising laughter suddenly rang out. If someone was here at this moment, they would definitely be scared out of their wits. "I didn't expect such a powerful cultivator to appear here. Looks like I'll be able to have a good meal again." As he spoke, the man unconsciously touched his stomach with his hand, making a hungry gesture. If Lin Rei heard him say this again, he would definitely be stunned. This was because the aura revealed by this person was only at the early stage of the combination realm. However, he didn't even notice such a low level of cultivation. Whoosh! The moment he finished speaking, the man once again glanced in the direction Linley had left. Then, he disappeared from the forest mountain range with a few leaps and bounds. In the central region of the central region, the sun was rising. On the bustling streets of Tianxi City, a very well-dressed young man was walking on the street. He was eating a chicken drumstick happily and didn't care about the gazes of the people around him. He looked very funny. "Hee, I haven't been back for a long time. I didn't expect this place to have changed so much. I wonder how my mother and father are doing." The young man was the male emperor who had separated from Lin Rei. After leaving Lin Rei, he couldn't wait any longer. It only took him half an hour to teleport back to his hometown Tianxi City, which he had left when he was young. Chapter 470. After hundreds of years, this place had become a place where things remained the same but people had changed. Along the way, he did not recognize a single person. However, the young man also knew in his heart that the people of his generation should have become powerful experts. How could they be wandering around the streets for no reason? Sigh. With a sigh, the young man did not eat the drumstick in his mouth. When he thought of his previous feelings, he could not help but feel melancholy in his heart. Move. Move aside quickly. Suddenly, a hurried shout came from the front. Immediately, the young man recovered from his daze and raised his head to look ahead. At this moment in front of him, a young storm leopard was rushing towards him. Furthermore, one could see that the storm leopard's body was covered in wounds. Without a doubt, this place was very close to the auction house. At a glance, it was obvious that it had run out from the auction house. As for the 1,000-year-old expert following behind the storm leopard, the young man did not care. He did not even look at him. His gaze turned to the storm leopard. The young man casually waved his hand and the storm leopard, who was originally stumbling but still moving very quickly, was instantly dragged by an invisible force and flew straight towards the young man. Ayo. Ayo ayo. Monster beasts were similar to humans. Other than the difference in their body structure, they were the same. They could cultivate and had thoughts. Therefore, when it felt that it was being captured without any resistance, a sense of danger caused it to panic a little, causing it to repeatedly roar. This action caused the eyes of the people on the bustling street to light up. Who else could do it so easily? Not to mention that this young monster beast was not their opponent. Just looking at the storm leopard's speed, they could not be very strong. It was even more impossible to capture it so easily. Regarding this, everyone looked at the young man with eyes full of worship. This was the worship of the strong. Hee, little guy. The emperor saw that you were pitiful and wanted to save you. Why are you unwilling? After the monster beast entered his arms and looking at the injured storm leopard, the young man said to it with a smile on his face. Then, he used his cultivation to begin healing the wounds in his arms. In an instant, the wounds that were originally so deep that the bones could be seen instantly healed under the young man's touch. The wounds quickly began to close up. Who are you? A young yet arrogant voice rang out. The young man did not even lift his head when he heard this voice. He continued to carefully treat the storm leopard in his arms. When the young man saw that his words were ignored, his self-esteem suddenly seemed to have received a 10,000-fold blow. He angrily began to threaten the young man. Humph, do you know who I am? I am the young master of the Wuong Trading Company. I advise you to give me Feng Yun Panther and let's pretend that nothing happened. Finally, when he heard the name Wuong Trading Company, the young man's eyelids twitched. He raised his head and looked at the young man with great interest, sizing up the little boy from head to toe. His brows furrowed tightly for a moment. From the boy's body, he couldn't see any trace of his family. You said you're from the Wuong Trading Company? The young man's words made the young man overjoyed. In the young man's heart, he secretly thought that the young man was intimidated by his identity. Thus, he spoke even more arrogantly. That's right. I am from the Wuong Trading Company. If you want to give me Feng Yun Panther, I will teach you a lesson. The young man's words fell into the young man's ears. For a moment, the young man's heart was filled with interest. He looked at the young man with great interest and said, You said you're the young master of the Wuong Trading Company, but so am I. Tell me, should I listen to you or not? Wow! The young man's words stunned everyone present. Those who were not watching, those who were setting up stalls, and even the millennium-old man were stunned. Everyone's face was filled with suspicion, especially the self-proclaimed young master of the Wuong Trading Company. In a moment, his expression changed rapidly, as if he was defeated. The young man saw the hope of many people around him. He didn't care about their actions at all. Fine. Kid, you're courting death, so don't blame me. At this moment, the young man did not argue. Instead, he waved his hand in the air. Suddenly, a few figures appeared in front of everyone. Quick! Look, isn't that Dong Qing? Yes, the genius of the Dong family's collateral branch. Sigh, he's good. Although he's cultivated to such a high level, in the end, he's still a hired thug. That's right. If it weren't for that incident 100 years ago, I'm afraid that the Dong family would still be the Dong family's direct descendant, and Dong Qing wouldn't have ended up like this. In a moment, the moment the few people appeared, the surrounding people's eyes were sharp. They immediately recognized a particularly famous young man from the Dong family. Little brother? The moment the young man appeared, the excited male emperor frowned. He saw a figure that he missed dearly. No, he's not. After observing for a while, the young man realized that the young man who appeared was not his little brother at all. It was just that the young man's appearance and temperament were similar to his little brother. Quick, catch him for me. I want him alive. I want him alive. The young man in front of him was almost shouting. His face was very ferocious. When the young man saw this scene, he was immediately disappointed. Humph, I'm very disappointed that the Dong family has a young master like you. I didn't expect that the Dong family would decline after 100 years. Since that's the case, there's no need to keep you alive. After saying that, the young man did not wait for the young man who looked like his little brother to make a move. He took a step forward, and the entire city trembled instantly. Rumble. Rumble. At the same time, the place where Lin Rei's foot was stepping on began to crack. Quick. Don't run, quick. When the strange scene appeared, the surrounding people scattered at once. They wanted to rush to the safe secret place. At this moment, they were using all their strength. Their speed was several times faster than before. Crack. Crack. The cracking sounds became louder and louder. Everyone was panicking. They did not expect that this unknown young man in luxurious clothes was actually a powerful cultivator. Even the young man who started the trouble began to regret. The young man was no longer like before. He sat on the ground and began to cry. Moreover, what was even more unbearable was that the area between the young man's legs was already covered in that yellow and white thing from before. At this moment, looking at the young man's appearance, the young man began to wonder if this young man was actually a descendant of the Li family. During this process, his eyes lit up. The person who was called Dong Qing by the passers-by had been standing there the whole time. When she encountered this kind of situation, her beautiful eyes were filled with fear. Instead, she looked at him with a look of helplessness. TSK, how can this be? Why is this young man's aura more and more similar to my little brother's? Looking at the young man was full of doubts. After thinking for a while, he could not explain clearly. Then, the young man withdrew his cultivation and did not make things difficult for them. Humph, This is the disaster of not respecting your elders. Who would have thought that in the hundreds of years since the emperor's return, the Dong family would have someone as arrogant and despotic as you? Damn, the Dong family should change their cards. After saying this, the young man did not waste any more time. Instead, he took a step forward and disappeared with the Feng Yun leopard in his arms. Everything returned to normal. The young man was still sitting on the ground in panic. His legs were weak and he did not dare to get up.
As for the young man's words, the young man did not hear them at all.
However, Dong Qing, who was next to him, heard them clearly. At the same time, her heart was in turmoil. Could it be that he's back? After hearing the young man's words, Dong Qing seemed to think of a family legend. However, just as she thought of this, she shook her head and denied it. No, that person hasn't appeared for 800 years. Although this was what she thought, she was very excited. She did not stay outside. Instead, she turned around and rushed towards the Wuong Trading Company not far away. At this moment, in the Dong family, the young man arrived at the Wuong Trading Company without any effort. When he saw that the family that he had been thinking about day and night had become something that he did not recognize, he was very upset. How could this be? Looking at the luxurious surroundings, the young man was a little disgusted. According to his father's principle, he had always advocated frugality. Even if his family was not ordinary, he would not allow his family members to be arrogant, despotic, and pretentious. However, everything changed when he appeared again. Who is trespassing on the Dong family's land? Just as the young man was in a daze, a voice suddenly rang out and pulled the young man back to reality. When I looked up, I saw a man in luxurious clothes with a disgusting oily face. Lin Rei could not help but laugh. The Emperor, Dong Xiaonan. In short, he did not need to hide his identity from the Dong family. Besides, he had come here to take Dong Li's family away. Dong what? When he heard the young man's name, he was confused. However, when he recalled that there was a young master 800 years ago, he was shocked.
He looked at the young man warily and said in a cold and murderous tone,
Dong Xiaonan, the young master of the Dong family 800 years ago.
When the young man heard his identity, the young man nodded in agreement.
Hiss.
After confirming that there was no mistake, the young man gasped.
His eyes were filled with murderous intent. He looked like he wanted to kill Dong Li. When the young man realized this, he frowned. The young man was shocked by the young man's reaction.
A bad feeling arose in his heart.
Boom. Instantly, the young man did not waste his time. His divine sense rushed out of his body and scanned the entire Dong family from top to bottom. The more he searched, the more shocked he was. At the same time, he became anxious. During his search, he could not find any trace of his parents. The more he searched, the more frightened he became. At this moment, his murderous intent surged out involuntarily. Suddenly, when the young man was extremely disappointed, 3 figures and 4 figures appeared in his mind. At this moment, tears flowed out of his eyes uncontrollably. His murderous intent exploded. It was so strong that the entire city was enveloped by the young man's murderous intent. In the entire city, when everyone felt this murderous intent, they all lay down on the ground. It was not because they wanted to, but because this murderous intent was so strong that they were suppressed involuntarily. You are so good. How dare you treat the emperor's family like this? You should all be killed. The young man recognized 3 of the 4 figures in his mind. They were his parents and his younger brother, whom he had been thinking about day and night. As for the young woman, she looked very extraordinary. She must be his sister-in-law.
However, what made it hard for the young man to accept was that at this moment, all of their shoulder blades were locked.
Although they had lost their cultivation, the young man could still feel a faint spiritual energy. This spiritual energy was being emitted from his younger brother's body. At this moment, the young man could not bear it anymore. He teleported to the dungeon where his parents were locked up. Father, mother, I'm late. With a plop, the instant they arrived at the dungeon, the male brother knelt on the ground and said to his parents with a trembling voice. When the 4 injured men heard the young man's voice, they frowned and sneered without even raising their heads. Ha! Ha ha! I didn't expect you to be so shameless. You even used the name of my dead son. Do you think this is the same as finding the Wu-Ong Trading Company's seal? Do you think you can use the Dong family's shadow guards just like that?
Ha ha ha, dream on. Even if my entire family dies here, I will not let the shadow guards be destroyed by you. Puff. As soon as he finished speaking, he spat out a mouthful of blood, which landed directly on the young man's body. Father, how are you?
The young man completely lost his mind when he felt the heat from the blood.
He came to the old man's side in an instant and injected a stream of pure immortal qi into the old man's body. This situation happened so suddenly that the old woman, middle-aged man, and middle-aged woman all raised their heads and came to the old man's side and surrounded him. However, the young man's actions were all seen by the three people. Instantly, they raised their eyebrows and looked up. When they saw the young man's real appearance, the old woman and middle-aged man were stunned on the spot. Their eyes were filled with disbelief as they looked at the person in front of them, who they had imagined countless times. At this moment, he really appeared in front of them. Father, how are you? At this moment, the young man's face was gloomy because he felt that his father's body was full of holes. Moreover, he had been poisoned by a slow-acting poison. This poison would not kill the person immediately, but it would devour the person's soul until it was completely devoured.
Ahem. I'm fine. He coughed softly and turned around.
When he saw the young man's real appearance, his body trembled slightly and tears gushed out of his eyes uncontrollably.
I'm back. Chapter 471. The words "I'm back" contained too many feelings for his parents and younger brother, so much so that the moment he said those words, the young man instantly burst into tears and started crying. As family members who had not seen each other for more than 100 years, the four of them hugged each other and began to cry. This sentence was not over yet. The woman on the side was very excited when she saw this scene. She was happy for her husband and her in-laws. Time passed little by little. No one knew how long they cried, but they stopped when they seemed to be unable to cry anymore. The four of them separated. Father Dong Wen, Mother Kai Yu, and Brother Dong Tiancheng all looked at the young man, waiting for an explanation. Let's talk about this later. I wanted to take you away when I came back this time, but I didn't expect you to be hurt like this. As he spoke, the young man had the intention to kill. He originally just wanted to take his family away, but now it was not so simple. Alas! Yes, I didn't expect that they would do this as a member of the Dong family. Looking at his son's appearance, Dongwon knew that his long-lost son had the intention to kill. But when he thought that this was a business that he had built single-handedly, he could not bear to let it go to waste. Forget it, young man. They didn't kill me. Since this is the case, we don't have to go too far. Just teach them a little lesson. Well, yes, big brother. After all, this is the family that father founded. If it's destroyed like this, then... Okay, I know. Of course, the young man understood his father and brother's words. The moment his brother Dong Tiancheng finished speaking, he directly interrupted and said, I know what you mean. Don't worry, I won't do anything to the Dong family, but those who hurt you are destined not to be forgiven. At this point, Dongwon also knew that this was the only way, so he did not stop them. After all, they did go too far. Father, I have already healed your injuries. As for your cultivation, I can't do that. But when I see Brother Lei, I will plead with him to help you recover your cultivation. As he spoke, the young man's eyes could not help but moisten again. When he thought of the suffering his father and family had suffered for so many years, he could not help but want to kill everyone in the Dong family. Dongwon nodded his head excitedly and agreed. All right, let's go. Without waiting for them to react, a surge of immortal qi wrapped around them and dragged them into the air. Instantly, the four of them were shocked. This was the first time they had seen such a miraculous power. Swish! In the eyes of Dong Wen and the other three, before they could say anything, the scene before them instantly changed. When they looked again, the cell that had imprisoned them for 100 years was finally gone. Hiss! Dongwon couldn't help sucking in a breath of cold air when he saw this. His eyes widened in disbelief. What kind of strength is this? It's so powerful. It's much more powerful than the teleportation of a body integration realm cultivator. That's right. I didn't expect Big Brother to be so powerful after disappearing for so many years. Sigh.
Hearing the family's discussion, the young man didn't say anything. He just smiled and released a wave of pressure to suppress everyone in the Dong family. Puff, puff. The pressure was so powerful that even a heaven immortal expert couldn't withstand it, let alone a cultivator who hadn't even reached the Mahayana realm. The moment the young man released his pressure, the cultivation of all the cultivators in the Dong family flew away. Some of them couldn't withstand the pressure and died suddenly. The male emperor who had done all this last night sneered and was about to leave. At this moment, Dong Tiancheng, who was in the restriction formed by the immortal qi, suddenly shouted, Big brother, you can't leave yet. I have to take my son with me." "What son?" The male emperor, who was about to leave, stopped abruptly when he heard his younger brother's words. At the same time, a strange feeling arose in his heart. "I didn't expect my younger brother to have a descendant after not seeing him for hundreds of years." "Haha." The male emperor smiled and asked, "What's your son's name? What does he look like?" When Dong Tiancheng heard this, he immediately described his son's appearance to his elder brother. However, after Dong Tiancheng's description, the younger brother felt that the son in his younger brother's mouth seemed to be the young man who he was very close to. Could it be? The male emperor, who had thought of something, instantly released his divine sense. Instantly, the panoramic view of the entire city appeared in his mind. Haha, I found him. Finally, Dong Qing, who was not far away from the Dong family, was rushing towards them. After a while, under the detection of the young man's divine sense, Dong Qing moved quickly and arrived at the entrance of the Dong family. Haha, this young man is not bad. Looking at his nephew, the young man revealed an imperceptible smile. Then, he strode towards the entrance of the Dong family and bumped into Dong Qing. "Son!" Dong Tiancheng shouted. Not far away, Dong Qing, who looked anxious, heard his father's shout. When he looked up, he saw his father and mother floating in the air. Below them was the mysterious powerhouse he had seen before. Dong Qing was very confused and shocked. However, at this moment, Dong Qing seemed to have understood something. "Let's go!" Before Dong Qing could react, the young man waved his hand and Dong Qing appeared beside Dong Tiancheng. At the same time, the scene in the depths of the Dong family disappeared. In the sky above the Lin family in the eastern martial city, Lin Rei was standing in the void. However, his divine sense had penetrated into the Lin family. Alas! Was it wrong to destroy his cultivation back then? The first thing he did when he arrived here was to go to the void of the Lin family. He released his divine sense to explore the Lin family. He wanted to see his relatives, but there was no one missing. "Yes, when you came back, you destroyed my grandfather's cultivation. It has been more than 800 years. An ordinary person can only survive for 100 years, let alone 800 years. Lin Tian, who was beside him, saw Lin Rei's appearance and immediately agreed. "Yes, maybe I am thinking too much. However, I only destroyed his cultivation back then. I didn't destroy my eldest brother's cultivation." "Why?" Before he had left, he had investigated his elder brother's cultivation level and aptitude. Even if the Lin family's cultivation method wasn't that great, based on his aptitude, he should be able to live through 800 years. However, there wasn't even a trace of him here. Lin Li was very disappointed. Looking at the young master's disappointed expression, Lin Tian did not say anything. Instead, he quietly watched from the side. After a moment of silence, Lin Rei finally reorganized his emotions. Then he said to Lin Tian, "Let's go. Since there is no one I am waiting for here, let's leave." With that, Lin Rei took a step forward. Looking at Lin Rei's back, Lin Tian hurriedly chased after him. "Boy, be careful later. People who have the soul art are not ordinary. If possible, keep them for your own use. This kind of person is most suitable to help you solve the obstacles in front of you in the future." Along the way, the little dragon's voice sounded. But Lin Rei was really tempted by this suggestion. This is also a good idea. Lin Rei pondered for a moment. Then, he spoke again. "When we reach the forest sky, find the person who has the soul art and use the soul controlling pill to keep them for our own use." PFFF. Ha ha ha. Lin Li had just finished speaking when he suddenly heard Xiaolong's merciless mocking laughter. Lin Li was stunned, not knowing what to make of it. "What are you laughing at?"
I'm laughing at you.
Hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon casually said, I really don't know if you are really stupid or just faking it. People who cultivate the soul art specialize in absorbing other people's souls. Tell me, how can such a thing have a soul, let alone a soul? Upon hearing the little dragon's explanation, Lin Rei didn't know what to say for a moment. He had only heard about the soul art from the little dragon, so he didn't know anything about it.
Then how do you think I should subdue it?
If the soul-controlling pill doesn't work, don't tell me you're telling me to use my sincerity to subdue it. Regarding this matter, Lin Rei felt a huge headache. For a person who didn't walk on the path of soul and soul, they couldn't be called a human anymore. They were just like the zombie race who transcended the 6 paths and didn't belong to the 5 elements. But Lin Rei was sure that since the little dragon mentioned this method, it meant that he definitely had a way to subdue them.
Haha boy, learn more.
As expected, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei smiled knowingly and pricked up his ears to listen carefully. Although such a person doesn't have a soul, you can control their physical body. A physical body that can fuse with so many souls definitely isn't an ordinary existence. Control their physical body?
Are you sure?
Lin Rei couldn't understand the little dragon's words. He had heard of controlling souls before, but to control a physical body without a soul, this, Tendo Seed Demon Technique, Venerable Level Cultivation Technique. When the seed demon appears, chaos will begin. When the seed demon appears, Tao will perish. Upon hearing the little dragon's profound words, Lin Rei couldn't help but roll his eyes at him. But frankly speaking, Lin Rei was rather tempted by this venerable level cultivation technique. Not for any other reason, but because it was a venerable level cultivation technique. TSK. Don't underestimate this cultivation technique. Although it doesn't increase one's cultivation or double one's attack, if it works well, you have to believe that the entire divine world will be destroyed. As soon as the little dragon said this, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. This was the first time he heard of a venerable level cultivation technique that didn't increase one's cultivation or double one's attack.
Oh, tell me about it.
Looking at Lin Rei's indifferent expression, the little dragon was furious for a moment. Then, he explained the origin of the Tendo Seed Demon Technique to Lin Rei. Chapter 472. This skill book had a great origin and the system didn't know who it belonged to. Anyway, this skill book could solve the problem of your blindness. But, hee. Looking at the little dragon's treacherous expression, Lin Rei knew that there was no such thing as a free lunch in this world. So, alright, you just want something. Say it, what do you want this time, as long as I have it? Sure enough, after hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon was instantly delighted and immediately stated its conditions. 1 million exchange points. As usual, I'll owe you first. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry. After hearing Xiaolong's conditions, Lin Li didn't even have time to react. His body trembled, and he nearly fell from the sky.
Aren't you embarrassed?
How dare you? However, when Lin Rei almost died from anger after hearing the little dragon's words, the little dragon's voice sounded again. And what, there's more? This time, Lin Rei couldn't stay calm. If it was a venerable level skill book that cost 1 million, Lin Rei could barely endure it. But now, it wasn't over. For a moment, Lin Rei was so astonished that he had the urge to strangle the little dragon. Hee, don't be nervous. He was already mentally prepared for Lin Rei's actions. Anyway, it was always like this and he was used to it. In addition to the 1 million exchange points, there's also 500,000 reputation points and you can ascend to the divine realm within a year. This time, Lin Rei didn't say anything. It wasn't that he didn't want to tell the little dragon, but he didn't have the courage. At this moment, Lin Rei was a little regretful. He regretted accepting the person who cultivated the soul art for his own use. But the little dragon's words had indeed moved him. Alright, you're really something. 1,500,000 reputation points and you can ascend to the divine realm within a year. You've earned a lot from this deal, right? At this point, Lin Rei wanted to retreat, but it was too late. Although there was a flat road behind him, it was no longer suitable for him. Although there was a bottomless abyss in front of him, Lin Rei still decided to jump down and explore the bottom of the abyss. Okay, it's your condition just now, but you have to promise me that you can only use the one. 5 million yuan when I want to give it to you. Otherwise, I'd rather not make this deal. Although he wasn't the banker, at least he had a trump card in his hand. Therefore, Lin Rei believed that Little Dragon would agree to this condition. All right, I promise you. The Little Dragon was overjoyed at the successful transaction. At this moment, the Little Dragon couldn't help but reveal a sinister smile. F***CK, I've been scammed again. In this regard, Lin Rei was very helpless. No matter how much experience he had, he was no match for the Little Dragon, this old thing who had lived for who knew how many years.
Here, Tendo Demonic Seed Technique. Without waiting for Lin Rei to react, the stupid Jinsu appeared in front of Lin Rei. The Jinsu flickered with a faint light that made one's heart palpitate. Looking at the technique, Lin Rei smiled bitterly and said to himself, 1,500,000. Just to think about it, the Jinsu spent 1,500,000 on me. I was still well off, but now it slapped me back to the war period before liberation. With that, Lin Rei grabbed the Jinsu. Immediately, his consciousness returned to his body and his body that was flying away stopped. At this time, Lin Tian, who was following Lin Rei, also stopped beside Lin Rei when he saw Lin Rei stop. He asked puzzledly, "Young master, what are you doing?" "I'm not leaving." Looking at the nearby Lin Tian, Lin Li said, "Young master, I'm going to train in a certain technique. Later, I'll find a random cave. Stand guard for me. Remember, don't let anyone disturb me." With that, Lin Rei instantly released his cultivation. Boundless immortal spiritual energy wrapped around Lin Tian and they disappeared in an instant. Although he was somewhat puzzled by his young master's actions, he would unconditionally obey everything he said. Even if Lin Rei asked him to commit suicide, he would do it without hesitation. On top of a tall mountain not far away, a figure appeared. He stretched out his hand and clenched it into a fist. He gathered his immortal chi and punched the stone wall in front of him. Boom! The loud sound disappeared as quickly as it appeared. At this moment, a huge cave appeared in the incomparably intact stone wall. However, what gave Lin Rei a headache was that he didn't control his strength well and directly punched through the mountain. Lin Rei was helpless about this. Moreover, he had already suppressed his strength. He didn't expect that in the end, this would still happen. "Forget it, I don't care. I'll find a place to practice first." With that, Lin Rei walked into the cave and casually threw a formation to the other side of the cave. Then he said to Lin Tian, "Little Tian, guard me. Remember, kill trespassers without mercy." "Yes, young master." Hearing Lin Rei's order, Lin Tian immediately went to the entrance of the cave and sat down cross-legged to guard Lin Rei. Haha. Looking at Lin Tian's appearance, Lin Rei laughed. He didn't waste any time and directly sat down cross-legged. Jin Su was instantly taken out by Lin Rei's system. A tyrannical aura instantly stirred the surrounding space. Yo! Yo! As soon as this phenomenon appeared, Lin Rei was so frightened that he instantly put Jin Su away. Fortunately, this fluctuation wasn't detected by Lin Tian, which could be considered a blessing in disguise. "Haha, kid, I'm afraid you're the only one in this world who dares to do this." At this moment, the little dragon's voice sounded. Immediately, Lin Rei's face darkened as he said to the little dragon, "You still have the nerve to gloat. It's all your fault for not telling me." "Haha, yes. It's my fault, okay?" Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon didn't argue with him. Instead, it disappeared the moment it finished speaking. Humph! A cold snort came from Lin Rei's mouth. Then, with a wave of his hand, a king-level ceiling formation appeared. After sealing everything in the surroundings, Lin Rei was relieved. "I don't believe this won't work." After saying that, Lin Rei took Jin Su out again. This time, the situation was different. Lin Rei smiled. Phew! Lin Rei took a deep breath and closed his eyes. His divine sense instantly rushed out and entered Jin Su. Boom, kacha, rumble, ah! Let me out, I. Thunder rumbled and screams echoed. At this moment, Lin Rei found it hard to believe that the Jin Su was completely different from the previous cultivation method, where celestial sounds were faintly discernible and scenes that made people forget to leave. However, it was the complete opposite here. It was filled with a tyrannical aura.
Living souls flew around in the air and screamed from time to time.
Hiss. Oh my god.
Even Lin Rei couldn't help but be shocked after seeing this scene. His hair stood on end. This was simply hell. Moreover, it was the kind of 18 levels of hell. Tendo Cycle, Tao Seed, Palace Scripture, Divine Soul, Capture the Flag. Tendo Reversible, 3000 Great Das, Fleshly Body, Possession. Suddenly, 2 words, like the sound of the Great Tao, suddenly rang out. Instantly, Linley was stunned. It was as though he had entered a state of epiphany. He stood there stupidly, not moving at all, as though he had been struck dumb.
Tendo Cycle. Tendo Reversible?
The cycle of the Tao of the heavens. 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 The cycle of the Tao of the heavens.
Ha ha ha, Tendo Reversible. My life is my own, not the heavens.
With the dragon's spear in my hand, the world is mine. After an indeterminate amount of time, Lin Rei's eyes suddenly flashed with a domineering aura that was different from before. The souls that had been hovering around him suddenly scattered. Tendo Reversible, Great Tao even more reversible, Tendo Spore Devil, Soul Seed as main, Seed as auxiliary, Control myriad worlds, play occasionally.
These words suddenly rang out.
Instantly, Linley felt as though he wanted to soar into the heavens. Right at this moment, one mysterious rune after another appeared, transforming into a divine chain that instantly shot into Linley's head. As time passed, the divine chain slowly sank into Linley's mind, until it finally disappeared. The moment all the runes entered Linley's mind, the originally breathtaking golden Su space instantly lost its original luster and became very desolate. It no longer had the previous scene.
Ding dong.
Congratulations to host for learning the first level of the Tendo Spore Devil magic, Spore Devil.
Ding dong.
The first level of the Spore Devil magic can release 3 seeds into the body of the host's chosen prey. The system's voice suddenly sounded, causing Lin Rei to laugh.
Ha ha ha, 3 times?
3 times is not bad. It's better than nothing. Lin Rei was a person who knew how to be content with 3 chances. He then left the space of the golden strategy space. Phew, Lin Rei, who had returned to his original body, sighed softly. When he opened his eyes, the cave was already dark and the moon was hanging in the sky. It was very beautiful. I didn't expect to have cultivated for a day. Looking at Lin Tian, who was still guarding him at the door, Lin Rei stood up and walked towards Lin Tian. At this moment, sensing the situation in the cave, Today came back to his senses. When he saw that Lin Rei had woken up, he quickly stood up and said to Lin Rei, "Young master, you're finally awake. The male emperor has been sending messages asking where you are for the past 2 days.
How many days?"
Deciphering the information from Lin Tian's words made Lin Rei stunned for a moment.
"How many days did you say I've been cultivating in the cave?"
Lin Rei asked in disbelief. Yes, it has been 5 days since young master went into seclusion." After hearing the exact time, Lin Rei didn't say anything. He was secretly shocked. He didn't expect to stay in the golden strategy space for 5 days. "Oh, by the way, you said the male emperor sent a message?" Lin Rei, who had come back to his senses, suddenly thought of something and asked.
Yes, and it seems to be very urgent. So far, he has sent 5 messages. On average, 1 message per day. Just like that."
Chapter 473. Lin Rei, who understood the situation, did not stay any longer. He immediately said, "Let's go. Since you're so anxious, you might have encountered some trouble." After saying that, the two of them exchanged glances. Then, they turned into streams of light and disappeared into the sky. At this moment, the man's family had arrived at the entrance of Sentian. They had been trying to contact Lin Rei for the past few days, but they could not get in touch with him.
"What should we do? I thought we could just heal his injuries."
"I didn't expect father to be poisoned." On the second day after the man arrived at Sentian, Dong Wan, who had been in a deep sleep, did not wake up. Furthermore, his aura was getting weaker and weaker. As time passed, Dong Wen's aura had weakened to the point that the man was afraid. During the past 5 days, the man had tried to use his cultivation to help his father stabilize the poison. However, He did not expect the poison to be able to absorb the spiritual energy of the immortal qi. As the immortal qi increased, the poison was nourished to an uncontrollable level by the man. During these past few days, as an emperor-level alchemist, he had become all his hope.
Man, how is it? Have you contacted that person?
Just as the man was getting anxious, a weak voice that made the man's heart ache sounded in his ears.
No. Perhaps Brother Lei has something important to do. However, I believe him. As long as Brother Lei sees my message, he will definitely rush over. I believe in him.
Tisk, if he wanted to come, he would have come long ago.
How could he not be here now?
The male emperor, who was already anxious, was furious when he heard his brother speak of Lin Rei in such a way. He could not help but release a murderous aura.
Humph, shut up. An angry roar with a majestic murderous aura instantly caused the entire space to freeze. The surrounding temperature also began to drop due to the man's murderous aura.
At the same time, the surrounding flowers and trees began to wither the moment they sensed the murderous aura.
Hiss! Everyone was shocked when they saw this. This was because they had never seen such a thing before. It could be said that they had never expected such a thing to happen.
That was not all.
When Dong Tiancheng sensed the killing intent from his big brother, he was shocked.
Then, his imposing manner disappeared.
Let me tell you, Brother Lei is not someone you can talk about.
If you weren't my brother, you would be a dead man by now.
Although the young man quickly said this, he actually thought so in his heart. He had always been very touched by Lin Rei. If it weren't for him, he probably wouldn't have such achievements in his life. Maybe he wouldn't have been able to live for a few years. Then, he wouldn't have been able to become the immortal emperor of the immortal world.
I know
I won't do it again. Dong Tiancheng's weak voice sounded, which reduced the anger in the young man's heart.
However, he was greatly disappointed by his younger brother's actions just now.
All right, as long as you don't do that in the future, it'll be fine. This is only because it's me.
If it were any other disciple of Brother Lei, I'm afraid you would have died long ago.
You probably wouldn't even have the chance to reincarnate.
However, what the young man didn't know was that when he was reprimanding his younger brother, Lin Rei had already arrived at a place 10 meters away.
This kid, what are you talking about?
Am I that kind of person?
Listening to the young man's words, Lin Rei wanted to cry and laugh at the same time.
He didn't understand why the young man had such an evaluation of him in his heart.
Well, what you said is very pertinent.
If it were me, if he said such things, I'm afraid he would have died long ago.
At this time, Lin Tian, who was following beside him, spoke. His tone was full of killing intent. It was obvious that he really wanted to kill. All right, why bother? He's just a kid. There's no need to be so serious. After saying that, he smiled at Lin Tian and walked towards the young man. However, Lin Tian didn't do the same. His killing intent was still leaking out from his body as he followed behind Lin Rei.
However, his gaze was fixed on Dong Tiancheng, who was beside the young man, and he looked like he wanted to kill him.
The young man was still immersed in the atmosphere when he sensed someone approaching.
He turned around and saw Lin Rei and Lin Tian appear.
Brother Lei, you're here.
When the young man saw Lin Rei again, he stood aside respectfully and nodded at Lin Rei. After nodding at Lin Rei, he asked, "By the way, young man, why are you looking for me in such a hurry?"
The young man was about to speak, but after hearing Xiao Sheng's question, he immediately said excitedly, "Brother Lei, please save my father. He's been poisoned, and this poison he..." In an instant, the young man told him everything about his father's condition. He didn't dare to leave out anything because this concerned his father's life.
Oh, so that's what happened. After hearing the young man's words, Lin Rei frowned and nodded.
Then he came to Dong Wen's side, squatted down, and entered Dong Wen's body with immortal qi to check. Time passed little by little. Lin Rei's check was finally coming to an end. At this moment, Lin Rei's brows were relaxed and he looked relaxed. Done. Finally, after removing his hand from Dong Wen's body, he stood up and came to the young man's side. He said, "I know about Uncle's poison.
Actually, it's not poison at all."
What? It's not poison? Hearing Lin Rei's words, the young man was stunned. He didn't know what Lin Rei meant. It's not poison. It's a type of parasite. Moreover, this parasite is very domineering. It's called the spirit-devouring parasite.
After stopping talking about the person who cultivated the soul mantra, Lin Rei was like a deflated balloon and couldn't muster up any energy. Why, young master, actually, there is a way to catch that person. Lin Tian, who had always been by Lin Rei's side, naturally knew about Lin Rei's current state. As for Lin Rei, the reason why he brought Lin Tian along was that he was Lin Tian's only family in this world. However, he didn't expect Lin Tian to have a solution at this moment. In an instant, Lin Rei turned around and grabbed Lin Tian's arms.
What solution, little Tian? Tell me quickly. It's like this. That person's cultivation method is to devour souls. The purer the soul, the more that person desires it. So we can. Lin Rei, who didn't have much hope, was filled with confidence after hearing Lin Tian's explanation.
Besides, he believed that as long as this method worked, it would be a piece of cake to catch the person who wasn't allowed to cultivate the soul mantra.
Okay. Let's do that? Lin Rei said and reminded Lin Tian, little Tian, go to the side later. I will lure that person out. During the entire process, you must not appear, okay?
But before Lin Tian could say anything else, he was pushed out of the danger zone by a terrifying yet gentle force.
Lin Tian felt helpless and powerless at the same time. He thought of rushing forward but gave up in the end because he knew that his cultivation wasn't enough. Even if he rushed forward, the result would be the same. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was standing in place, followed Lin Tian's method and released his pure soul energy, spreading it to a radius of 1,000 meters. Boom, boom. Although it was soul energy, it was different for the soul of an immortal venerable. Immortal venerable was the best realm for cultivating one's soul. Therefore, the soul energy had reached a level that could make the entire immortal world tremble. The moment the soul energy was released, the male emperor, who was resting with his eyes closed, widened his eyes in shock. What's going on? Could it be that Brother Lei's soul energy is in trouble? The young man regarded Lin Rei's life as more important than his.
Therefore, after this incident, he seemed to have forgotten that Lin Rei was an immortal venerable.
Little brother, you can stay here and show your age. I'll be back soon.
After saying that, the young man disappeared from the spot.
He couldn't refuse Dong Tiancheng, who was still in a daze. On the other side of Sen Tian, a young man with a tyrannical aura appeared. His eyes were filled with passion as he looked at the location of the pure soul force. He had a slanderous look on his face as he constantly smacked his lips. Kakik. Soul essence. Soul essence. A voice that seemed to come from the depths of hell pierced through the air. Immediately, the young man dashed towards the location of the soul essence. His speed was so fast that no one could catch up to him. At this moment, Lin Rei was the happiest. Although he had released his soul energy, the seed demon was ready. As long as the person who cultivated the soul art appeared, he would definitely be killed in one strike. There was no way he could escape. Whoosh! Suddenly, the sound of something breaking through the air was heard. Lin Rei, who was ready to take action, immediately launched an attack towards the source of the strange movement.
However, what made Lin Rei feel helpless was that when he launched his attack, he saw that the person who came was the male emperor who had stayed behind to look after his family.
Twist. He knew how terrifying the seed demon was. Therefore, when the seed demon was about to enter the young man's body, he used twist. In an instant, the seed demon that was flying at high speed stopped and returned to Lin Rei's side. Lin Rei didn't want to say anything about this matter. However, the young man felt very embarrassed. Just now, he had sensed the presence of danger. However, the danger disappeared in an instant. He knew that Lin Rei had a part to play in this. The male emperor who landed beside Lin Rei said to Lin Rei with an embarrassed expression, "I'm sorry, Brother Lei. I didn't know. All right, that's enough. Hurry up and go to Lin Tian." Before he could finish speaking, the feeling that made Lin Rei's heart palpitate appeared again. This time, Lin Rei was sure that he was ashamed of the person who cultivated the soul art. This feeling was still fresh in his memory, as if it had happened yesterday. Tendo Seed Demon. In an instant,
The seed demon dashed out of his palm and flew toward a tree not far away after sensing the source of the palpitation.
The seed demon's speed was extremely fast. It was so fast that Lin Rei felt ashamed of his own inferiority. At the same time, the seed demon was a shapeless thing. Even if he approached it, he wouldn't notice anything wrong. Chapter 475. Lin Rei, who had regained his senses, hurriedly stepped forward to help him up.
His flustered look warmed the heart of the male emperor, who was beside him.
No, you saved me. At the same time, you helped my son achieve what he is today. You are the benefactor of the Dong family.
You are our benefactor.
His eyes were filled with respect and he wanted to kowtow again.
Lin Rei, who could not bear it, said sternly, "If you do this again, I won't care anymore.
My son is my brother. It's normal for me to help him. You are my son's father, which means you are my family. Therefore, there's no need to do these superficial things between family members." After saying that, a stream of pure immortal qi instantly appeared on Dong Wen's knees. Then, it lifted him up. When the male emperor saw this, he hurriedly went forward to help his father up. He also cast a grateful look at Lin Rei. "All right, brother. Hurry and help your father heal. I'm afraid we can't leave today."
"It won't be too late for us to leave tomorrow when your father's injuries are better."
As he spoke, a bottle of pills appeared in Lin Rei's hand.
He threw it to the male emperor and brought him to the side without saying anything.
Seeing this, the male emperor did not disturb them. He took the pills and helped his father to the side to start healing. As for Dong Qing's family and the male emperor's mother, the four of them walked to the side and started a fire to prepare for dinner. "All right, Xiaotian, you must be tired. Give him to me and go rest." Lin Rei, who had come to the side, said to Lin Tian.
He stretched out his hand to take the male emperor into his arms and placed him on the ground.
"Okay, got it." Hearing Lin Rei's words, Lin Tian did not resist. Instead, he obediently agreed and walked to the side to sit down. He closed his eyes and fell into a deep sleep. After everything was quiet, Lin Rei smiled and came to the male emperor's side. His finger, which was filled with immortal qi, touched the male emperor's neck. The unconscious male emperor woke up. Although the tyrannical aura on his body was still there, it was much better than before. "He's awake." Lin Rei, who was sitting to the side, didn't say anything else after speaking to the child. Instead, he waited for the boy's reply.
There was a moment of silence.
It was so quiet that Lin Rei felt a little helpless. He had originally wanted the boy to respond, but now he was thinking too much. "Tell me." Although the boy was already awake, he didn't seem to want to tell him half of the story. Finally, Lin Rei couldn't help but ask. "What's your name? Where's your family? Why are you here? And why are you cultivating the soul art?" After a series of questions were asked by Lin Rei, the room was still very quiet. After seeing that the boy's silence was golden, Lin Rei was very unhappy. He stood up and lowered his head to look at Lin Tian and kill the heavens. Lin Rei didn't hurry to call them. Instead, he left alone and walked towards the depths of the forest. On the other side, the boy was sitting at the side and recovering. As for Dong Wen, he was probably a little tired after a night of recovery. At this moment, Dong Wen had already fallen into a deep sleep. Not long after, Lin Li returned. He was carrying a huge demonic beast on his shoulder, looking extremely miserable. How much had this poor demonic beast suffered in its lifetime to end up like this? With a loud bang, everyone who was sleeping in their dreams woke up at this moment. "Who is it? Can't you let me sleep?" An impatient voice rang out. Instantly, everyone's gaze turned towards the voice, including Lin Li's. When he saw the younger brother, Dong Tiancheng, Lin Rei's eyes showed a trace of killing intent. This wasn't the first time he heard such words. However, for the sake of his younger brother, Lin Rei didn't make a move. As for Lin Tian, when he wanted to kill Dong Tiancheng, he was stopped by Lin Rei. "Forget it.
A great person won't hold a grudge against a petty person. Moreover, he's the younger brother of my younger brother. After saying that, Lin Tian, who had already stood up, sat back down. However, he couldn't control the killing intent on his body, and it was rolling towards Dong Tiancheng. Lin Rei didn't care about this. As long as he didn't kill, he wouldn't interfere. Then, Lin Rei, who didn't care about anyone else, went to the side. A blood-red flame appeared instantly. The temperature of the surrounding space increased the moment the flame appeared. In the end, the surrounding air was almost burning. In an instant, the flame reached the body of the giant demonic beast and began to burn quietly. As time passed, the demonic beast that was originally filled with blood slowly emitted a fragrant smell. When the surrounding people smelled it, they couldn't help but salivate. Their throats squirmed as they swallowed their saliva. In the blink of an eye, an hour had passed. Originally, there was only the fragrance from time to time, but at this moment, it was still very fragrant. The flame in Lin Rei's hand was also retracted. Hee, little Tian, Shatian, quickly come and eat. After we finish eating, let's leave quickly. After waving his hand to Lin Tian and Dong Tiancheng, who had been gossiping for a long time, he tore off a piece of fat meat and stuffed it into his mouth without caring about the influence of the immortal prime. The meat of a demonic beast was not like that of an ordinary beast. Every piece of meat in its body carried traces of spiritual qi. Similarly, demonic beasts paid the most attention to their physical bodies. Therefore, although the meat of demonic beasts was slightly hard, it didn't feel greasy at all and it tasted very delicious. A strange sound was heard. Immediately, Lin Rei hurriedly looked over. At this moment, Lin Rei was no longer concerned about eating. Instead, Shatian had entered the demonic beast's stomach and began to gnaw from the inside out. He looked very cute. However, Lin Rei's eyes were red and he began to eat quickly. When Lin Tian saw this scene, he was very happy. He revealed a happy smile and prayed in his heart. I hope this can last forever. Young master can be happy forever. As for Dong Tiancheng and the others, because of their previous words and actions, they didn't dare to get close to Lin Rei. As for Dong Tiancheng, he was still recovering his spiritual qi. Time passed by slowly. In the blink of an eye, more than half an hour had passed. Originally, there were 5 demonic beasts, but under the joint attack of Lin Rei and Shatian, they were nearing the end. Brat, this is mine. It's much harder for you to eat it. Lin Rei complained. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that at this moment, everyone's eyes were on the two of them. Who said that? I'm the one who grabbed it. Moreover, how old are you? I'm only 11 years old. Haven't you heard of the saying, the big one should let the small one live until old? A stubborn voice that didn't give Lin Rei any face sounded. The voice was filled with coldness. This is my territory and I'm the boss. Therefore this thing is mine. At this moment, Lin Rei and Shatian were fighting over a big bone with meat in their hands. They looked like they were going to teach them a lesson if they didn't let them have it. The scene was very funny. No, this is mine. This scene made the young man feel so ashamed that he couldn't show his face. Sigh, that's enough, little brother. In order to not make things difficult for the boys, in the end, she decided to put them into the system. Whoosh! In an instant, the man's family all disappeared from the sky. They were all taken into the system space by Lin Rei. Let's go! After doing all this, Lin Rei smiled and patted the Empress beside him. Then, he took the lead and entered the tunnel, disappearing from the mysterious sky continent. This time, he was really going to bid farewell to this place. Let's go! When Lin Tian saw Lin Rei leave, she followed closely behind. After saying this to the young man, she took Shatian and entered the tunnel. The young man was right behind her. Just like that, their trip to the mysterious sky continent ended. However, they didn't know that their return had caused a huge commotion in the central region of the mysterious sky continent. Because of the aura released by the young man, all the cultivators in the central region thought that a strong cultivator had appeared. Those who were in seclusion or training all rushed to the central region to see the aura of a strong cultivator. A month later, Everyone left the central region in disappointment. They returned to their respective sects and took up their positions. In the western part of the immortal world, in the endless mountain range, there was a valley in a paradise. The sounds of birds and beasts chirping could be heard. This place was full of flowers and spirit herbs, giving people a peaceful feeling. However, it was completely different once they left the valley. The valley was filled with demonic beasts of various levels. Almost every demonic beast was the size of a small mountain. They had ferocious eyes and fangs, and they could faintly smell the scent of blood from a few miles away. There were countless bones on the ground. Some were human, some were monster. The whole scene made people's hair stand on end. The aura of each monster was very strong and their roars were endless. However, it was precisely in this endless danger zone that there was a place where one could settle down and settle down. Whoosh! At this moment, in the originally peaceful valley, a whirlpool appeared. It stirred up the surrounding immortal chi. Awu! Awu! The appearance of the whirlpool caused the entire endless mountain range to become restless. The cries of the beasts continued. The cultivators who were supposed to be training in the endless mountain range were frightened by the roars of the beasts and directly retreated. Whoosh! Whoosh! For figures rushed out of the whirlpool and arrived in the Valley of Immortals. At the same time, the whirlpool disappeared. Haha, Valley of Immortals, I'm back. At this moment, a man was looking around at everything around him. Although there were many changes compared to when he left, it was because many spiritual medicines had grown here. Linray, didn't you say there was delicious food here? I've been in the tunnel for more than a month. I'm starving. I eat your pills every day. Don't you know? I'm almost scared to death of them. A very discordant voice rang out, instantly shattering that bit of gentleness in Linley's heart. AI, look at you. You're a child and you don't admit it. You only think about eating every day. The four of them were talking about Lin Ray, who had just returned from the mysterious Heavens continent. Originally, Lin Ray wanted to directly teleport to the Xuanzong sect. However, after thinking about it, Lin Ray thought about the Valley of Immortals that he and Old Yuan had discovered when they first arrived in the Immortal Realm. They immediately located the location and came here. Tisk! At this moment, Shatian jumped down from Lin Tian's body and rolled his eyes at Lin Ray. Then, he went to the side and squatted on the ground without saying a word. Ha! Looking at Shaishan's expression, Lin Ray smiled and said to Lin Tian and the male emperor, "All right, you guys go and catch some demonic beasts. It's best if they're of the heavy class. I'm afraid this guy won't have enough to eat. You only know how to talk about me. Aren't you the same?" As soon as Lin Ray finished speaking, Shatian retorted unhappily. Instantly, the entire Valley of Immortals quieted down. I'll go with Lin Tian first. You guys take your time to chat. Seeing that the atmosphere wasn't right, the young man hurriedly said to Lin Ray and dragged Lin Tian away. What's wrong? In the valley, Lin Tian, who was being dragged away by the young man, asked the young man with a puzzled expression. Haha, nothing. Let's go. Hearing Lin Tian's question, the young man was stunned for a moment. Then, he didn't say much and brought Lin Tian into the depths of the Valley of Immortals. At this moment, in the valley, seeing that Lin Tian and the young man had left, Lin Ray's expression returned to normal. He glared at Shatian with a pair of tiger-like eyes and had the urge to rush up and eat him. TSK, you don't have to be like this. You're old. Just stare. When I grow up, I will definitely not lose to you. When that time comes, let's see if you still dare to bully me. Hearing Shaishan's words, Lin Ray wanted to cry and laugh at the same time. Okay, I'll wait. After saying that, Lin Ray walked to the side and sat on the ground. Then, he entered a meditative state. Hee, kid, I didn't expect you to be angered by an 11-year-old kid. TSK. In the system, Lin Ray, who was in a meditative state, came to the system. He didn't expect to hear the little dragon's voice as soon as he entered. Rolling his eyes, Lin Ray couldn't refute the little dragon's words because it wasn't necessary. He knew that no matter what he said, he couldn't win against the little dragon. In the end, he would only make things worse for himself. Looking at Lin Ray's silent expression, the little dragon revealed a bitter expression. Sigh, this is too boring.
You don't even know how to joke with me. That's more like it.
Looking at the little dragon's expression, Lin Rei was overjoyed. This was the first time he KO'd the little dragon with words. Alright, since you've returned to the divine realm, hurry up and advance to the divine realm. You don't have much time left.
Okay.
Looking at the little dragon's serious expression, Lin Rei immediately put away his playful nature and began to treat it seriously. To advance to the divine realm, one must release all of their cultivation. Ordinary people would have to undergo a terrifying thunder tribulation. As long as they passed the thunder tribulation, they would be guided to the divine realm.
But you're different.
Because of the chaos scripture, you don't need to undergo the thunder tribulation. As long as you release your cultivation, you'll be guided.
Of course. Let me tell you something about cheating.
At this point, the little dragon's voice was filled with mockery. Sneakily, it came to Lin Rei's side and said, when you're guided to the divine realm, you'll have unimaginable benefits. Besides, the system will also give you double the EXP. As soon as the words came out, Lin Rei was instantly stunned. If what the little dragon said was true, then breaking through to the divine realm wouldn't be a problem. Just as Lin Rei was feeling happy, the little dragon's voice sounded again. Of course, you're already at the celestial venerable stage. Advancing to the divine realm is just a matter of taking a step, so it won't be a problem for you. But, at this point, the little dragon stopped. What scared Lin Rei was that the little dragon's smile contained a trace of evil that terrified him. However, after breaking through to the divine realm, before entering the divine realm, I'll seal all of your spiritual roots, aptitude and comprehension. One of them was the younger brother's family, and one of the members of the Shura clan. Big brother. The moment Dong Wen's family appeared, the sharp-eyed Dong Tiancheng saw the younger brother and called out, "Yes." As for the male brother, when he saw his younger brother's appearance, he coldly nodded his head and did not say anything else. Dong Tiancheng was stunned by this and returned to his original spot with a deflated expression. Blood 36. They are Elder Dong's family. Send them to the Xuanzong sect and explain everything to Yun. As for you, you will stay in the Xuanzong sect. When you break through and reach the God realm, I will wait for you there. Yes, young master. Blood 36 agreed quickly because Lin Rei's orders were his life. Meanwhile, Lin Li moved his gaze onto Dong Wan and said, Uncle Dong, you can follow him. When the time comes, my son will arrange for all of you to stay in the sect. From today onwards, all of you can cultivate properly in the sect. I hope we'll be able to meet again in the divine dimension. After speaking, Lin Li gave the male emperor a look. Then, he left with Lin Tian and returned to Shaishan's side, leaving some space for the male emperor who was about to be separated. The younger brother understood Lin Rei's meaning and began to say goodbye to his family. Lin Rei actually cried when he saw the younger brother. Lin Rei felt very guilty. However, he didn't regret it. That was the only way the younger brother could become strong. That was the only way he wouldn't be bullied by others. That was the only way he could protect the people he wanted to protect. Time passed slowly. This time, Lin Rei didn't disturb them. Instead, he let them say their goodbyes. Half a day passed quickly. The moon was still hanging high in the sky. Beside him, Shetian and Lin Rei were looking at the sky quietly. All right, mother, father, little brother. Once you are in the Xuanzong sect, you must cultivate well. Don't slack off. I will wait for you in the God realm. After saying goodbye to his family, the younger brother walked towards Lin Rei. Are you done with your goodbyes? Sensing the commotion behind him, Lin Li turned around, only to see his younger brother arrive. He casually asked him this question. Yes, I'm done with my goodbyes. Lin Li was very pleased with how straightforward and decisive he was. He gave Blood 36, who had been waiting off to the side, a look, and instantly, the Blood 36 transformations appeared in front of Dong Wan and the others. A terrifying wave of immortal qi wrapped around them, and they left the Valley of Immortals. Everything returned to silence. The younger brother's eyes were wet when he saw his family leave. It's okay. We will meet again in the future. Furthermore, I believe that uncle will reach the God realm if he cultivates in the God realm. Lin Rei walked up and comforted his younger brother.
To anyone, this was a form of injury, including Linley himself. But fortunately, Lin Rei's body was strong. Otherwise he would have exploded and died. As he circulated one cycle after another, the surrounding immortal chi crazily rushed into Lin Rei's body. Mother***, this kid is crazy. Looking at Lin Rei's crazy actions, the little dragon frowned. He was in a dilemma. He didn't expect Lin Rei to be so crazy in order to break through. At this moment, the little dragon began to wonder if it was because he was pushing too hard. Swoosh! Just as Linley was breaking through at high speed, in the air above Linley's head, a golden pillar of light suddenly descended, enveloping Linley within it. The moment the golden light fell on Lin Rei's body, an indescribable feeling came from Lin Rei's body. The shackles that he couldn't break through all this time were loosened at this moment. Feeling all this, Lin Rei gave up on the immortal chi around him and instantly used the devouring heaven art. In an instant, a huge suction force emerged and began to devour the golden light around him. However, when Lin Rei saw this scene, he went crazy. For the sake of Lin Rei's safety, he didn't show up to stop it. But he still complained spontaneously. "You're too bold, aren't you? You actually dared to absorb the god's attraction light. You." The little dragon couldn't stop scolding. Arg! Lin Rei suddenly let out a roar. The transparent blood vessels around him instantly concealed themselves. However, at this moment, Lin Rei's aura was rapidly rising. A majestic and pure energy rushed out of Lin Rei's body and spread to the surroundings of the Valley of Immortals. In the end, the little dragon decided that if Lin Rei didn't wake up at the last moment of the guidance, he would take action. Although it was a little rude, there was no other way. This was all Lin Rei's own fault. Time passed little by little. 3 days had passed. At this moment, the golden light around Lin Rei's body was even more intense than 3 days ago. Moreover, what made the little dragon puzzled was that today, when he was about to take action, a golden figure suddenly appeared beside Lin Rei. Although the appearance was very vague, he could feel that it was a living person. Moreover, its cultivation was no different from Lin Rei's. Doppelganger Dao Heaven Spell. A cry of surprise came out of Xiaolong's mouth, and his eyes were filled with a thought-provoking smile. Hee, this kid actually hid such a crazy thing from me. There's really nothing that can hold you back. Seeing this scene, the little dragon didn't grumble like before. Instead, he quietly shut his gossipy mouth. After knowing that Lin Rei was cultivating his doppelganger, time passed little by little. At this moment, the original shadow beside Lin Rei slowly solidified. Pff, suddenly, a mouthful of blood was spat out by Lin Rei without warning. However, the slightly purple blood didn't fall to the ground. Instead, it seemed to be fixed by something and was directly transferred to the shadow's doppelganger beside him through a specific path. Pff, then 2 large mouthfuls of blood were spat out. In the end, all the blood was absorbed into the body of the doppelganger beside him. At this moment, a miracle happened. After the slightly purple blood entered the doppelganger's body, it began to evolve into spiritual veins one after another. It began to spread within the doppelganger. First, it spread from the heart to the limbs, then to the brain and various other organs. At this moment, except for the fact that there was no flesh and blood, this doppelganger was no different from a living person. Thump thump. Thump thump. A familiar sound fell into Lin Rei's ears. At this moment, a pair of eyes that had been closed for a long time opened at this moment. Swish. A golden light instantly rushed out of the restraint of the eye sockets and directly hit the mountain rocks in front of him. With a loud bang, the rocks that were hit by the golden light instantly exploded. Ah, finally done. I didn't expect this doppelganger to be so difficult to cultivate. It took me so long to form it. Looking at the doppelganger beside him that was full of meridians, Lin Rei's mouth slightly curved into a smile, revealing a trace of joy. However, his eyes showed no signs of relaxing. Boom! The illusory spirit blood fire suddenly appeared. At this moment, the surrounding experience instantly withered and finally became drops of pure blood. Using my blood as a guide, cast. Lin Rei suddenly shouted behind him.
As for the endless mountain range, after the golden light disappeared, everyone who feared the endless void came to the endless void and swarmed in. But in the end, they didn't find anything. However, when they entered the endless void and saw the miserable state of the endless void and the dead demonic beasts, they couldn't help but bend over and support themselves against trees, vomiting non-stop. What they saw wasn't the endless void. What they saw was simply the Azura hell, and it was even worse than that. The demonic beasts in the endless void were basically half, and the remaining ones were extremely powerful existences. This place was already useless to them. Since then, the endless void became a forbidden area for all sections. Moreover, all sects, clans, and empires issued a unified order that no one was allowed to enter the endless void without the permission of the sect. Those who disobeyed this order would have their entire clan executed, and their descendants would never be able to cultivate. No one dared to violate this law. Of course, this law also applied to the people of the Xuanzong sect. After Lin Rei left, Lin Yun had to live in the endless void for a period of time. While he was living in the endless void, he had already repaired all the places that were destroyed by Sakura. As for the dead demonic beasts in the endless void, they were also captured by Lin Yun in other mountain ranges and finally filled in the endless void. Since then, the endless void became a forbidden area for everyone, and was even kicked out from the celestial world. The celestial world, a place that people yearned to cultivate. Here, there were as many gods as dogs, and divine generals were everywhere. Only divine monarchs could shake this place. Those above divine monarchs were all in seclusion, and they simply disdained to come out. There was a place in the celestial world that everyone wanted to explore. They didn't know when it appeared, but everyone, including the strongest existences in the celestial world, would be in awe of this place as long as they went there. The starting ground. The starting ground was known as the receiving ground in the celestial world. As the name implied, this was the place where people who came from the lower realm would appear. No matter which realm they came from, they would all appear here. However, this was also the 100-Gate Mountain, because there were hundreds and thousands of sects stationed here in order to recruit new blood for their sections. Because only in this way could the sects continue to grow stronger. No matter if it was a top-notch sect or a mid-tier sect, all the sects would recruit. Of course, as for whether they could recruit people, that would depend on the top-notch sects. Chapter 480. Sigh. It's been 100 years. Why hasn't anyone come up yet? If we keep waiting like this, even my Dao companion won't be willing. In the starting ground, a valiant middle-aged man wearing armor complained to his companion beside him. Hee, that's enough. Do you think I don't know you? You must have cheated some girl. The conversation between the two attracted the attention of everyone around them. The two who were chatting happily felt the surrounding gazes and became silent awkwardly. Boom! The sudden appearance of the golden light made the immortal sects, who had been waiting impatiently at the starting ground, feel a burst of pleasant surprise. Ha, they're finally here. They're finally here. We can go home. The man who spoke before was too simple. At this moment, he was so happy that he couldn't help but laugh out loud. Look at you. Remember, don't let anyone with good aptitude go. Any conditions are fine. Our divine sect will not reject anyone. Yes. Hearing this, the middle-aged man immediately rushed to the front. Wherever he passed, people would take the initiative to give way. Rumble. Rumble. A series of loud noises could be heard. Everyone was already waiting. As soon as the figure appeared, they would rush forward like hungry wolves. Whoosh. 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 Half an hour later, one figure after another appeared in the originally empty golden light. 1. 800. 8,000. One after another, figures appeared in the golden light. Seeing this scene, everyone's hearts were stirred up. As time passed, more and more figures appeared in the golden light. Finally, tens of thousands of people appeared in the golden light. However, Linley and his clone, Sakura, were among these tens of thousands of people. At this moment, they still opened their eyes. However, the instant they opened their eyes, they saw something that they couldn't believe. Originally, they thought that they were the only ones who advanced. In the end, they saw hundreds, thousands, and even tens of thousands of people. Lin Rei was speechless. Deity, It seems that it's not a small matter for us to retreat in front of tens of thousands of people. At this moment, Sakura, who was wrapped in golden light, looked at the people around him. Some of them were of the same level as him, and looking at their clothes, he knew that they must be powerful in the lower bound.
Heh, those who block the way die.
A simple sentence had already expressed Lin Rei's attitude. He wasn't going to let so many people die just because they couldn't complete the mission given by the system. He wouldn't allow that to happen. Schwab suddenly. The golden light disappeared without any warning. At this moment, the impatient Sect disciples did not become chaotic because of this. Instead, they became even more orderly. Fellow Taoists who have just ascended, I am Divine Predictor, a disciple of the Enigma Palace, and a disciple of the Divine Generation. The place you're in right now is the starting point of the God world, the place where all of the planes of ascension open up. After he finished speaking, the man who called himself Divine Predictor took a deep breath and then said to Lin Rei and the tens of thousands of people, "We are also guarding the sects here in order to be able to provide fresh blood for the sects in the sky profound realm." At this point Lin Rei understood. At the same time, he was very happy. Originally, he thought that to complete the mission given by the system, he would have to travel mountains and rivers. He didn't expect that it would be so close. Now, I'll introduce you to the sects stationed at the starting point. After saying that, Divine Predictor directly rose into the sky and looked down at the people who had just advanced. He said in a calm tone, "The immortal world is divided into 2 sects, 3 factions, 2 palaces, and 1 empire. These sects are now in front of you. As long as you can pass their test, you will become a disciple of the top sects in the God world." After saying that, Divine Predictor landed on the ground and returned to the location of his own sect. However, at this moment, when the people who were also from the God world heard that Divine Predictor didn't mention them at all, they were immediately furious. However, they didn't dare to do anything rash. The sects in the immortal world were divided into the top sections. Just like what Divine Predictor said before, they were divided into 1st grade, 2nd grade, and 3rd grade. Among them, the top sects were the highest, followed by the 1st grade and so on. The lowest was the 3rd grade. Of course, there were also some unrated sects that weren't in the same grade. Humph, despicable and shameless. A sudden voice caused everyone's gaze to unconsciously gather towards the source of the voice. They saw a black-clothed man with a murderous aura and a gloomy aura. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei suddenly thought of 2 words, assassin.
Hee, interesting.
I didn't expect to see an assassin when I just arrived in the God world.
Not bad.
In this regard, Lin Rei couldn't help but look at the black-clothed man. Looking at the black-clothed man gradually rising into the sky, he coldly looked at Divine Predictor with a murderous aura in his eyes. "I am the deacon of the heavenly gate of the heavenly gate of the 8 heavenly gates of the God world. Today, we are recruiting again. If you are willing, you can come here. My 8 heavenly gates is not inferior to those so-called top sects." After saying that, the black-clothed man landed on the ground, but the murderous aura in his eyes became more and more intense.
Interesting. 8 heavenly gates?
At this moment, the moment Sakura, who was beside Lin Rei, saw the black-clothed man, his heart was already filled with curiosity.
Regarding this, Lin Rei was shocked in his heart.
Damn, don't tell me you want to join the heavenly gate. Seeing Xueqi in front of him, Linley began to treat her even more kindly. He didn't expect that this divine general would be so kind-hearted. At the same time, Lin Rei was worried about his kindness. In this dog-eat-dog world, being too kind was tantamount to suicide. Yes, senior brother. Just like that, Linley successfully joined the sect for the system's mission. Seeing the people behind him being recruited one by one, Linley's heart was filled with joy. Hee, kid, I didn't expect your luck to be so good. You actually met such a little guy. This is it. Just as he was feeling bored, the little dragon's voice sounded. Instantly, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. Tisk, do you think everyone is like you in the system, always thinking of ways to screw me over all the time? Hearing this, the little dragon didn't get angry. Instead, he laughed happily. Tisk, so what if we trick you? Aren't you the one who benefits in the end?
If others want us to trick you, we won't be willing.
Ha ha ha. For a moment, Lin Rei, who heard the little dragon's words, couldn't help but laugh out loud. Then Lin Rei, who seemed to be overjoyed, quickly stopped laughing and looked around. At that moment, everyone was looking at him. For a moment, Lin Rei's expression was very awkward.
I'm sorry.
As he spoke, Lin Li hurriedly nodded in acknowledgement. Fortunately, the people around him didn't take him seriously at all, and continued to investigate. Looking at them, Lin Rei quickly rolled his eyes at the little dragon and said, "All right, I won't talk to you anymore.
I'll take a look around. Maybe there'll be some gains. Also, I'll check on the situation of the clone."
"Yes, go ahead. Anyway, he has what you have except for the system. But, if possible, let him control the entire Assassin's organization. This will be more convenient for you in the celestial realm in the future." After hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon in the system nodded and instructed Lin Rei.
"Okay, got it."
After saying that, Lin Rei came to Xueqi's side and whispered to him, "Senior, I want to go over there and see how the person who came with me is doing." After hearing Lin Rei's words, Xueqi, who was busy, quickly turned around and said to him with a serious face, "You can go, but don't cause trouble.
This is the starting ground. Danger is everywhere. Also, don't argue with him. This is not like the sect. If something happens, I'm afraid I won't be able to save you in time, understand?"
"Okay, got it." After hearing Xueqi's advice, Lin Rei felt a warmth in his heart. Then, his impression of him rose to another level.
"Here, this is for you. Just crush it and I'll be able to sense your location." Suddenly, a jade token was thrown over.
Instantly, Lin Rei caught it in his hand and left after thanking him. Needless to say, there were really many cultivators here. Moreover, there were many strong cultivators.